Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of You Ain't Shit for Watching. Today's episode, the topic is how to deal with the 7 left from a woman.
Oh,
Now,
what?
typically, how we run
How to deal with what, nigga?
the show is how to deal with
You
the
breaking up. You breaking up.
levels of disrespect from a female.
Okay. I hear what you're saying.
From a woman.
Up OD.
Hear me now. Can you hear me? We were we do just that.
Yo, you breaking up. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right. So what we're gonna do
Why
is basically.
everybody's mic is on mute except me and yours?
All right. So we're gonna mute yours. So everybody just running the line. So basically, what we're gonna do is a shout out for everybody. At some point, I'm gonna call out your name, unmute your mic, go for it, represent your channel, who you are, your business, whatever it is. You're a black man, so I want you to shout it out, whatever you're doing. We got Kev Esther from Black Men Being Brutally Honest. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Say a little bit about you.
This is Kev, Black Men Being Brutally Honest, one of the habitual line steppers that, once again, Donnie, thanks for inviting me to your show, and let's have another good one. Check out my channel on YouTube every Sunday night after hours, where it is definitely the place to be.
Turn up. Next on the list, I have Rain Amoy, the heathen without reason. Go ahead and drop your information. Let people know about you.
Fuck you. I'm not a heathen. I'm innocent. Don't listen to him. I'm Rain. I'm an admin of Black Men Brutally Honest. Probably one of the only females besides the other ones. But y'all go check out my page. Peanut Butter Girls and Rain's World 2-4. You'll like them. You like it. But friend, Donnie, thank you for having me on this fuckery. And yeah, let's get it started.
Much appreciated, Black Queen. You know, want to shout out to the Mother Earth.
I hate you.
Much appreciated. International celebrated nigga. He's a couture nigga. He's fashionable and savvy. He can help you out with your look. He's trying to get you on point. This money's T about you. This nigga playing video games. T, unmute the mic. Hit your phone and hit unmute. This is first time, so everybody got to work with him a little bit.
So you are seriously breaking up.
Tap the screen. And you see the little microphone, you can hit unmute.
You hear me?
There you go.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy T. Just coming in, you know what I mean, to hear some perspective. And you know what I mean, advise as best as I can. You know what I mean? Salute. Salute to everybody in the room.
You got a business or anything you want to rep out here for yourself?
Nah, man, nothing I want to rep right now. But I definitely want to rep this good old talk right here. You know, we all gonna have some good talk build. This is what we all should be doing on a daily basis. You know what I mean? Like I said, salute everybody in the room. Man, you feel me?
On the list is we got the radio. He always come with a little bit of logic. He always come with some time. We're from the Roger Report. Go ahead and speak on it.
Hello, folks. This is Roger Stevens from the Roger Report. Got an awesome channel. Everyone needs to check it out. Subscribe. You'll get nothing but good information. Nothing but good information. So check me out sometime. I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's get to it.
Much appreciated. Much appreciated. That's Roger. He always thinks he's right. He may or may not be, but you know, We gonna
Only
fuck
because I'm right.
with him regardless. All right, the unstoppable, the most niggerist, Trav. How you living tonight? This nigga, I ain't paying. Say something. You on mute, bro. He at least see him moving his mouth. He seemed like an anime. Somebody. You know, mute. Well, he's struggling. We're gonna get back to him when he's not struggling. All right.
Here we go. Here we go. All right.
So who are you?
I'm a nigga about to head into work and
What you
assist
doing?
the poor
Okay.
and disenfranchised masses of the New York City homeless population. We're about to tend to those people tonight.
I'm out here. You shout out to your city, your situation. We got the next on the panel. This is the Puffy Gang.
Yo, look at this egghead ass nigga Trav, yo. The nigga ran off the camera. Egghead ass nigga.
What are you talking about?
Yo,
Trav? What up, bitch? What up, Trav?
I'm cooling, man.
Chilling, what's good? What y'all niggas fucking with, man?
I'm good. We just trying to introduce the show. Once you get your
You sounding choppy, Brandon. I couldn't really hear you. Oh. Yo, Donnie, you sound a bit chopped. I couldn't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yo, where are the rest of the women?
All right, how about now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you sound fine now.
All right, cool. Go. All right, Castro. Y'all gotta forgive me for the technical difficulties. The internet, you know, it is what it is.
Right.
Castro, go ahead and introduce yourself and give out the shout out to your channel. What you doing?
Oh, what's good, y'all? And I don't know what else you wanted me to say, bro. That was it. That's all I had.
Nigga, you ain't got a channel. I know you got a channel.
Oh
Introduce
yeah,
yourself.
I was about to say, yeah. Follow me on Castro's World Radio Show on Facebook. We there.
All right. So basically, the purpose of the show is too many times when you look on the media, when you look on social media, when you look on the internet or out on TV series, the dynamic is black men ain't shit. So what I'm trying to do is give everybody a platform for black men to be able to speak, talk, and everybody understand that this propaganda is bullshit and everything else otherwise. So, you know, maybe you're a dude out here who doesn't have a black male figure in your life. Maybe you're a dude out here who wasn't brought up in the diaspora, as in maybe you were adopted by a work person or something else. I'm trying to give you options and also portray to the world that black men, we are here, we are strong, and we are doing things. So I'm gonna throw some scenarios at y'all tonight, and we're gonna see how the average black man handles it, right? So the topic of tonight's show is the 7 levels of disrespect and how to deal with it. So let me break down, I guess, what these 7 levels of disrespect are. So the first level.
Yeah, I never heard of it. So you're teaching me something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So level 1, you have combativeness. So that's when the chick that you're dating, basically, and this is all referring to relationships, but the chick you're dating starts to be a little combative just for the sake of being combative. That's when, you know, you say the sky is blue and she's saying, well, nah, it's not blue. It's technically green because da-da-da-da-da. She just arguing for no damn reason. That's level 1.
Okay. I was gonna say, like, I can't even get past level 1, so God bless the rest of the levels. Continue.
I'm like, yeah, as soon as it got
continue.
We got level 2. Slick comments. Slick comments is when your lady say some random slick comment about you when you have a normal conversation. So I'm gonna give you an example. You like, hey, listen, yeah, baby, you know what? I'm thinking about writing a book. She gonna say something to the extent of, yeah, like you could do that. Huh. That's a slick comment. So that's level 2. Level 3. This is when she insults you in a direct manner or fashion, right? So he gonna go for the gumption. So like, oh yeah, you a little dick nigga. We all heard that. Nigga, you ain't shit. Oh, you a broke nigga. You just a little nigga. Oh, da-da-da-da-da. So you know that's that's level 3. Level 4 is public embarrassment. Public embarrassment is when you go out to eat, when you go out in the streets, when you're doing something and she do something to specifically embarrass you in public. She creates a scenario just so she can clown out in public and see how you react. That's level 4. Level 5 is when she's slandering you. There's a couple people on the panel I know have been slandered in public just because the chick is angry. You know, that's when she says some shit like, oh yeah, he's, you know, he a cheater, he ain't shit, yada yada. When she go to her friends, go to public, she's trying to build a campaign of propaganda against you. That is level 5. Level 6, when you're dating a chick and she's just blatantly disrespecting you by having sex with another individual, that's infidelity. That's a high level. So level 7. Level 7 is the highest form of disrespect that a woman can give you. That's when she sets you up for murder or robbery. Think Ginger in Casino. When she sets you up and she's trying to rob all your money, that's the highest level of disrespect you can catch as a man from a woman. So, you know, with this in mind, I'm going to throw some scenarios out to y'all. We're going to see how y'all respond.
All right, shoot.
All right, everybody ready for it?
Yeah.
Yep, I'm ready.
Ready, bro.
All right. So first, what we gonna do is I'm gonna give you a scenario. So basically, you go out with the chick, and when you go out with her, you go to a restaurant, and she decides to cause a scene. Now, it may be some other issue underlying or whatever it is, but she's causing a scene in the restaurant. Maybe you stared at the waitress a little too long for what you're saying. Maybe you know the check ain't right. How do you deal with a chick that's acting up in public with you and is being blatant disrespectful?
Okay, who's going first?
Yeah, so who you want to go first?
Go ahead, Ed.
All right, so for me personally, right, I do this thing with, because, you know, where I work, I deal with people that are unruly every day. So for me, first things first, you have to remain calm in situations like that. Given on what she's fighting about, like we'll run with the, because I've actually had this happen. I'll run with the restaurant situation. You guys go out to eat, the check is wrong, and she's making a scene, blowing up, blah, blah, blah. First things first, you got to remain calm in the situation. You cannot elevate to the level that that female is at as a man. You should not. Okay? Next step, I must go speak to her like, yo, relax, chill out. We're going to go figure out what's going on. Calm down. If she's still blowing up, like I couldn't fuck with her after that. Because for me, it's like, yo, everywhere you go and you don't get your way and you're not happy, you going to make a scene. And now you putting me in situations or predicaments that I may not necessarily feel very comfortable in. You in these people place making a scene, they going to get the managers, they possibly calling the cops and all that extra shit for what? You know, so like for me, I'm a laid back guy myself, so I'm okay with a woman, you know, being like, hey, you know, this check is wrong, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, it's a way to go about it. I also feel like stuff like that manifests throughout the rest of that person's life. because if this is how they're acting on something as small as that, I'm sure they aren't as far in life as they should be at their age. Because once you get a certain age, you can't be in the workplace and stuff like that, blowing up and, carrying on like that. You won't get nowhere with that. So, I feel like that's a big red flag in my eyes.
So, granted, it's a red flag. I understand that. How do you deal with
red flag.
How do you deal with the chick in the time frame that you're at the table? So maybe you just got there. You haven't finished your dinner. What are you doing to maybe try to get this situation to take it down a notch, or maybe calm her down? Whatever you can do to slow the situation down.
Well, I mean, she's not whoever shorty is. I'm sure she a hood rat. So you gotta do like hood rat things to calm them down. So they like when curse at them, maybe like grab them by their neck. They like weird shit like that. But I honestly I wouldn't even know. Like I really want to just get up and leave at that point. Then like I wouldn't know what the fuck to say, because this bitch over here blowing up. If I tell her chill out, I'm sure she's gonna blow up even more. But that's how them bitches get. You can't tell them calm down once they get rolling. So I don't know, man. I try, but I don't know. That's a tough one.
You walking about the check, okay?
Yeah, I'd pay the bill. Like, yo, here, just I'm out of here. Like this bitch could sit and complain all she want. Here, I'm out.
So you a good guy. You gonna pay the bill? Okay. Well, shit. I couldn't pay the bill, but we
you wouldn't pay.
Hell no, I'm walking out. I'm paying my half of the bill. You can kiss my ass. But that at that point, it is what it is. So we got the next person on the panel. Let's hear from Kev Astor. What you talking? What you doing? What would you do in this scenario? Kev. Black men being brutally silent right now. All right, so we're gonna step past him right now. He ain't answered. And feel free to unmute yourselves and interject anytime. But we're just gonna go down the list. Like I said, I want this to be a conversation for the family, so everybody can do what they do. But I want to give somebody.
Yo.
Okay. What would you do in this scenario?
Yo.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm in the middle of something. I don't know. I'm just like more of an outward person. Stuff starts to happen. First of all, I try to de-escalate the situation as best as I could. Calm down. It ain't just what? Can you hear me?
No. I was just testing my mic. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll try to de-escalate first, but if it just escalates, I probably just won't fool with her again. It'll probably end up in a night of horrible text messages, because like I'm a straight up person. I'm gonna tell you about your behavior. And plus me being a liaison of that business, I'm not gonna. I'm more understanding to what that is. I mean, I can see little things that people can't. So I'll just explain to her what I see, and how things should be. And then if she doesn't listen to that, then that's when the red flags start going up. She keeps yelling and talking and treating me like I don't know what I'm talking about. Because like I'm a person of respect. I don't take too much disrespect. You disrespect me, I'm probably gonna clown you and then leave the whole situation alone altogether and move on to the next. But fortunately for me, I haven't had that problem in some amount of years. So
okay. Thought drop. You in this scenario, you see your brother. Maybe you are the woman in the club and in the restaurant. Your food don't come right. What do you do in this scenario? Have you ever been out with a dude who's acting out? Like I just want to know from a female perspective what you see from this and what you take from this.
Oh my God.
Get a deep sigh. You must have been here before. How many times you done cut up on a nigga on a date?
No, I've never done it in public. I don't like being put in those types of situations.
Oh, you sure about that? Yeah, listen, don't make me Google you.
You can. And that background is crisp, sir. You tried it. Anyways, but no, have I ever had a guy act up? Yeah. Skip me. Hold on.
The baby
Yo.
coughing in the background like
Yeah, you got
lying.
baby SARS in the background. What's going on? Do I need to call CPS?
Yo.
Come get him. How about that?
I'll pick him up. No, I want Baby Dre. I don't want that one. I want Baby Dre. All right.
So, to say real quick, I would say have a guy ever done that before? I can't think of off the top of my head, but I wouldn't want to be around that. I would pay and go. Like, if a guy's acting up about a bill, and 9 out of 10, that bill probably ain't that freaking bad. I'll even take the L and pay the bill and dip out because I'm not dealing with that. That's
You gonna pay the whole bill?
Yeah, I'm out of there. I'm gone. I'm paying that. I'm gone. I probably won't talk to you again because that's awkward. It's hell.
All right, well, shit. Okay, well, we got a woman's perspective on that. I'm just curious. What would you tell a male family member? The same thing?
I would tell them to just pay and leave the chick alone. Like, you don't have to sit there and just take the embarrassment as well. For what? Apologize and just take my car, pay with cash, and get up out of there.
Like, I don't know, man. Honest, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm bugging. I ain't paying no whole damn bill.
You already said you was paying over.
Nah, I took that shit back. I'd have went right back. Yo, matter of fact, give me my half back, man. Fuck all that. Now that I'm thinking about that shit, because you know why? Bitches probably do shit like that just so they get a free meal out of niggas. They ain't got no type of shame or nothing. Let me act the fool up in here so that this nigga could pay and we could dip. Nah, I ain't with that. I just thought of that shit. Nope.
See what you doing?
It got me thinking.
Yo,
like, why would y'all?
If I'm out with a chick and she pulls some shit like that, that's what you're saying?
Yup. What you doing?
Yo.
I'm walking out.
Ain't not even a discussion. You just gonna get up.
I'm out.
Nigga gonna walk like hell, you know.
I'm out.
I don't know that bitch. Who that?
Yo.
Why that bitch acting like that?
I'm not even talking. I'm just out. Like, I'm out. I'm
the nigga out. Mute. Don't ask me nothing. I gotta go.
Out. I don't know. Don't talk to me. Don't ask nothing. I don't care. I don't care if she roll with me. I'm out.
She got to Uber that back
on her dime. You know what I mean? See, because check it out. When you gotta realize when you start to engage, there's really no way to control a situation because you
exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's time to go. Soon as you out, as soon as she start wild, it's time to go. And
that's
sit there.
Cause she gonna be going on, and as soon as anything you tell her, anything outside of agreeing with what she's saying, you defending them, and then you gonna get dragged up in it too. And the next thing you know, it's some silly ass nigga moment about to happen. That's always how it starts.
Because at the end of the day, you going to jail as a man. You going to jail.
Facts.
You going to jail. You going anytime, especially if it's a situation you and a chick in a restaurant. She start wilding. When the police come, first of all, she gonna take it to the extra mile. If she's that type of female, she gonna take it to the extra mile because she feels like cops are always on a woman's side. You feel me? The best thing for you to do, go ahead, bro.
So you feel like because the chick is acting a goddamn fool, she's already aware of what she can and can't get away with, and she's willing to go the extra mile to play victim when the police show up in case you do come at her. You're not even willing to deal with none of that. You just want to walk the fuck up out of here. Is that what you're saying?
Check it. Real talk. Real talk is if a female even puts you in that situation, you know it ain't the one. So you know you shouldn't find a problem with getting up, getting in the car and pulling off.
Nah, I agree. Yo, Trav, what would you do?
Me?
Yeah, what would you do?
I gotta ask questions about like the variables involved. Is this woman? I'm like,
okay, ask some questions.
Yeah, go ahead. Ask him the question again, Don.
So
look at his face though. He got the face that he could tell.
Yo, Trav don't play, yo. Trav do not play, because I know this nigga answer about to be mad funny. I swear.
We all know where Trav to go with this.
It depends on the
He was
situation,
like he was light skinned on Tyler Perry last week.
If she can I talk?
I want to. What questions you got? Because I'm gonna come from the hood rattiest hood rat.
All right, so boom, am I fucking already? Nah.
Nigga,
This is joint the joint I'm just going out with, or this is a joint I've been fucking a couple months? Like,
So
all right, so go ahead, Donnie.
This the chick that you've been messing with a couple months, but you know if everything run right, if you get it back to the crib, it's going down. You got the plan. It's finna go down when you get back to the crib, but you ain't hitting it.
All right, so boom. If she getting mad like that, I'm gonna assume that she paying the whole bill. You know, like that's number one. If she paying the whole bill, she got the right to be mad. And if I'm fucking already, like, I'm gonna tell her to like relax one time, and that's all it's really gonna be. Like, she's just gonna listen to me, and then we straight. But other than that, I'm leaving. I'm dipping up out of there.
So let's do this. So you tell her to calm down. She tell you, "Fuck you, nigga. You ain't nothing but a little dick, nigga. You don't tell her to calm down. We out here at a restaurant. This bitch acting crazy."
I'm throwing my drink on her.
Bro, you just opened up the door though. What happened?
What happened to me now?
No, I'm just saying. What happened?
Nigga said he gonna throw a drink on her.
Huh?
What happened if she take it to the next level?
200 real quick.
I mean, like, what next level? I'm gonna throw the drink. I'm gonna dip after I throw the drink on it. So what's gonna happen after that?
We're throwing drinks on.
Police.
Wow.
The police will teleport in the restaurant.
When you splash your drink, are you running out?
What do you mean? Are they gonna grab me and restrain me or some shit?
No, not the police. Check this out. So you splash the drink on her, right?
Yeah.
Right? After you splash the drink on her, you about to get up. What happened if she just come at you and start wilding? What's next?
I'm gonna do the judo. We'll do my judo.
See, because you don't know. This nigga's from the Green Mile. This nigga's 6'20". This nigga's 6 foot.
I'm gonna grab her. I'm gonna just throw her down or whatever. Then it's a wrap. Like, then I'm out of there.
Nigga, you playing? Her girl, all her homegirls gonna pull up and jump your ass, nigga. You bugging?
They gonna chase me?
Just you and her. You splash the drink. After that, she come at you while and you do the judo. You know what I mean? Now, are you running to the car?
I mean, running to the car. I mean, like, I'm not gonna run, but I'm gonna get away.
That's too much time.
So
he gonna boogie out of there. He said,
"This is the scenario." She just done some slick shit to Trav, and Trav judo tossed her. Her wig is on somebody else.
Nah. Let me stop playing though. Like 9 times out of 10, I'm really good at like convincing women to do what I tell them to do. So I tell her to relax, and she's gonna chill. Like that's what usually happens with me. They're gonna relax.
Cause you like 3 times they size, nigga. That's why, nigga.
It's not even like that. Like, I'm really nice to the women I date. So it's just like they just listen to what I say. Like,
all right, fair enough. Shit, I done got my laugh. All right, so at this point, we got the logical individual gonna come up. Roger, I just want to hear what you gonna say. Aside from putting the drink on a bitch.
Nah, I ain't got to do all that because if we doing that, then we obviously ain't been messing with each other that long. So my approach is gonna be like, man, chill out. You act like you about to pay for this. You know what I'm saying? Usually, if you say something about paying, a woman gonna chill right out. Because I'm gonna be like, yeah, now, because if it's that serious and you paying, I mean, knock yourself out, do what you want to do. But if you expect me to pay, sit down and be quiet. That's it. I don't really need your opinion. I'm paying.
Damn right.
Okay. What about this? What about if you paid the bill already and she started to wild out on you? Do you get up and just get out of there and leave her where she at, or what?
No, but you know what I will do? If she start wilding, You know what I'm saying? I let her get into the car. Honestly, I let her get into the car. Start driving.
Man, yo.
I'm gonna jump on my phone. I'm gonna look up police stations in the area, find the closest one, and I'm gonna drop off.
What? Why are you dropping her off?
He said, "I want the bitch to be kidnapped, but I'm gonna put her at the police station so she leaves."
No. I take her because you know what I'm saying. My thing is okay. Let me get up out of that joint or whatever the case is. All of a sudden, they don't know what's going on. I'm just gonna stop at the police station. I'm walking down, like, man, could y'all remove this young lady out of my vehicle? Because we done at that point anyway. So,
bro, you messed
like
up
about
when
to
you
call
let
the
her in the
next
car,
week.
though. You
You gonna leave her stranded at the police station?
That shit be alright. Ain't nobody finna kill her. She got police. She got the best protection she can ask for at that particular point in time. Ain't nobody about to kidnap her. Ain't nobody about to kidnap her, nothing. She got a whole police force right there. She got
he not right. You know what I'm saying? He right.
Okay, what type of bitches are y'all dating?
This is scenarios, right? Ain't nothing like this. This is scenarios.
Let's not do that because
we dating your kind.
Calm your ass down. They be so quick to say, "What type of women y'all dating?" Y'all be so quick to throw that line. Relax. Calm your ass down.
So I can't throw that scenario to you niggas. Like,
ain't none of us say that. Ain't none of us say that on this call. Ain't none of us say that.
That's you guys say it on the call, but I'm saying in general, niggas say that. So I'm asking,
man, go use that to them niggas, please.
Would you feel to realize?
Roger will say that shit. If this was the roles was reversed, Roger would have said that.
All
it ain't though. That's the point.
Worst case scenario. So you got to understand, this is automatically off top a bad situation. We're putting you into a worse situation to see how you deal with it. We're not putting you into the chick that's pleasant. You finna marry her tomorrow because she's so great. No, I want the worst case scenario so we can see how you deal with it. And it's only gonna get progressively worse.
Yo.
For that, then you might need to go ahead and step back. Are you okay, Rain? You all right?
I'm good.
How many niggas? I mean, what's crazy is he asked like what kind of chicks we date, and I'm not even gonna majority of the chicks I take seriously. I really like decent chicks, really clean cut, and I'd be lucky like that ass.
Thank you.
That's certain chicks be. Not. What do you mean? Thank you.
Saying thank you for the answer because.
Oh.
I was about to.
Oh yeah. Like I never dealt with no shit like that before. Where a chick.
Everybody know Trav only date Asian women.
No, I don't. Nah, man.
It's all about the black women, man. All about the black women.
I would say we probably all date women, probably like the ones you hang out with. You never know how women act around you versus how they act around the guy.
That's
it's
a fact.
Real different. So we probably
That's
hang
true.
out. We probably take out women just like the ones you kick it with.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, you got a point. I agree.
That sound like a win. Everything sound good. Okay, so we're gonna. I'm gonna upgrade y'all to a next level of this, right? So, like Trav said, I've been dating this chick for a while. We've been fucking. We've been good. She come over to the house. She might even got a key to the crib. I mean, not my crib, but she might got a key to y'all crib. Y'all go out to a club, and maybe this is a friend's party, or maybe this is a club event, but everybody that she knows is there. Everybody that you know is there. She invited you, and everybody came through. And another nigga that she's talking to is there, and she's doing some lightweight flirting. How do you respond? How do you react? We're gonna start with you, Ann.
Oh, she's single.
What up?
Okay,
she's single. Yeah, she's single.
Nothing more to talk about. That's all you're gonna do. What are you gonna do while you're at the club? Because you got to be there for another hour because you didn't pay. Maybe it's an artist, So what are you doing?
You already know. You already know how I get down when I'm out. So I'm gonna have a good time regardless. Feel me? But I know when I get home. Cause when I know when I get home, I'm gonna be doing me. Yo, it's done. Like, yo, you feeling old boy? Go. Why you even come back here?
But the conversation I want to have is, what do you do while you are there?
Like you mean like, do I approach her about the situation?
You tell me what you're gonna do, but you got to hope her to be there. So
you got
doing this hour.
You got to keep. You gotta keep it player. You gotta keep it player. Do everybody know? Do everybody know that y'all fucking with each other?
Your people know.
My people know. Do her people know? Like, is it like a common knowledge? Everybody knows.
Every chick got that little friend that know everything that's going on. So she knows she fucking with you, and she knows she fucking with
so like we not together. Like we just fucking around.
No. You like I said, she got a key to your place. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, like she comes.
We must be pretty serious.
Like y'all fucking y'all real serious. Maybe you ain't put it into concrete that we're in a relationship, but y'all
for a key, nigga. Everybody better know if I'm giving out a goddamn key.
But that's deep scenario. You tough tight with the chick.
I'm waiting on my turn.
So what do you do for the record? About a whole hour there. I got you, T. We getting in tonight. We getting into the shit. But what you do? You got a whole hour there because your artists come on. You done spent the money. You don't want to leave, but you got your people in the VIP, or maybe you done got something, but you got some time frame there. What are you doing while you are in the club?
Yo, I'm turning up, living my best life, son. Simple as that. Like, I'm gonna do me. I'm in the club. I'm turning up. I'm drinking with my niggas. We in the VIP, living life, nigga, like I'm single. So that's what I'm gonna be once I leave.
So you're not gonna acknowledge the bitch. You just gonna let. Oh, okay. Well, hey, it is what it is.
Ain't shit.
Happy Saturday.
Ain't shit to acknowledge. Like I'm like, yo, why you even talking to me? Like you had a whole bunch to say to old boy. Like what do we have to talk about now?
Okay.
Other than give me back my key, what do we got to talk about?
Give me back my key. That's exactly what it is.
Yo, majority of
who on next?
Majority of the clubs I go to are places I used to work, so I get her kicked out.
Oh, yo, this nigga grimy.
I'm dead ass.
You get thrown out the
drag
club?
her the fuck out. Hell yeah, drag her out by her ass and throw her
the
the fuck out. Huh? Nah.
You gonna let the nigga rock?
Yeah. Ain't disrespect me, the nigga just being a man.
Nigga later on.
Respect.
that's okay.
Don't disrespect me.
Respect. Yeah, respect.
Okay.
We got to kick the fuck out though.
T, what you talking? Let me hear what you saying, because T got some fire.
I'm hopping in the whip. I'm out.
I mean, like, I'm not even doing. We straight.
Yo,
like,
you gonna leave?
I'm getting her kicked out though.
You gonna leave?
No, let me ask this question.
I'm kicking her out.
I didn't hear. Like you said, did we come together?
Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. You got a whole reason to be there. Maybe you got a VIP. Maybe you paid for a certain artist to be there.
Okay, let's get this clear. So I'm just there. She just for whatever. She there, and I see her, and she's flirty.
Right.
Well, I'm going to the crib and packing her stuff up.
Yo, you gonna leave VIP though, my nigga? You gonna leave your niggas and all that?
I done left a bunch of them, man. I'm leaving. Because I need to get a head start. I need to get a head start.
You need to start packing ASAP.
I need to. Yo, when she comes back from the club, everything will be ready to go. So she has to come in.
You just got to get it and leave.
So she done went to the Waffle House. She done had a good night. She get back to the crib thinking this is everything good. Everything is packed for the bitch to go, hey, your Uber will be here in 5 minutes, baby.
No. Everything is outside. I'm asleep. I'm going to bed.
I'm in my bed.
And keep it funky with you, I'm going to put a doorstop on.
He done hit the top latch on the bitch. Hit the bitch with the Shirley letter. Nigga.
Yeah, no, everything's outside already. There's no trouble for nobody. No type of no confrontation, no nothing. You know what I mean? I already done changed the mailing address for her.
You done changed her credit card addresses, nothing's on your name.
Leave me alone. No, get out of my face.
The locks will be changed in the morning.
This nigga went to UPS and hit a change of address on the bitch.
Reroute everything.
Reroute everything. And it's yourself. Reroute yourself. Time to go.
Well, shit, Mr. Stevens, what are you doing in this scenario?
Okay. This scenario, honestly, I'm gonna try to do everything I can to not acknowledge her. Like if you saying we got to be there for like another hour, I'm gonna kick it for another hour. I got people there, whatever the case is, just kick it. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? But when it's for me, I'm gonna disappear. She ain't gonna even know I left. I will, more than likely, knowing me, I'll probably just pick up a lock on the way to the crib. It's always like a 24-hour Walmart or whatever the case is.
You gonna change the light?
This thing
be delayed because you got
3 o'clock at night. Roger with the power drill.
And you know what? My father's a carpenter. What can I tell you? My whole family do parts of construction. We changing a lot of that big a deal. Now, you know what I'm saying? She gonna be delayed because she not gonna know when I left because she gonna be looking for me at first, expecting to ride.
Yeah, so you got time.
Exactly. So boom, I can go ahead and make that move. Now, if I can't get to a place and get some locks and get the locks changed, I like what bro said. Just pack up her stuff. Now, me, I'm not gonna put her stuff out or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? I would just let her come there. Maybe I even go somewhere else for the night because my whole point is she's not going to know what happened. You know what I'm saying? I might go over there. She goes to the crib. I might go to one of my homies' crib for the night or whatever the case is. She's gonna be trying to find a nigga. They don't know what that happened to me. I promise you. The next day, if we that cool where she got a key to my crib, if we that cool, then I probably know I know where her people live. Somewhere, I'm gonna drop her stuff off somewhere to her.
Wait a minute, because you sound like you finna incriminate yourself, nigga.
Yo, he got like a master plan for this shit, but the shit makes sense. I ain't gonna front.
No, I'm looking at it from a legal perspective. I'll take stuff to her people crib, drop her stuff. Her stuff is not left anywhere. Her people got it. My locks has changed. Our relationship is over. I don't answer her phone calls no more. She don't know what happened to me. One of the worst things to do to is to leave them without a clue what really happened. So if she don't know that I seen her flirting, I don't need to tell her that. You don't need to know why this relationship came to an end. Just let her wonder.
I mean, that's fair enough. Shit. All right, Mr. Esther.
Pray.
What are you doing?
I pray for you guys.
All right.
Why you gotta pray for us, Christina?
Yo, pray for the week, man.
Yeah, I'm curious why you praying for niggas too. I want to know.
Pray for the week,
because a lot of, not to cut Kev off or anything, but I pray y'all don't put these bitches on the lease because legally you can't put them out.
I advocate for men to not listen.
Yeah, ain't nobody getting on the lease. No,
we're not.
You can't even get mail there.
You can't
even get mail.
That's another thing I was gonna say. If she's not on the lease, but she gets mail there, that's also
no.
all you want.
We're not gonna let you establish no residency. Not gonna happen.
Bro, can I change my
utility?
Getting mail there.
Sure, kick her the fuck out when it needs you, because you can always walk into the leasing office and say, "Hey, listen, this woman assaulted me. I need y'all to put a restraining order against her. The property, she ain't even allowed to come on the property."
But again, this is from a legal standpoint. If they're not on the lease, but they get mail there, I know in the state of Texas, they have to get a 30-day, eviction
notice. But who's gonna let us get mail there? That's my whole point. If a woman that mail comes to your place and you ain't had that talk with her, you end that relationship immediately.
Let me take you.
Yo, word to life though. Let me say something real quick. If she live with you or not, she called the police over some whatever situation, bro. They gonna take her side, even if she on the lease or not. Like, so you might as well not even have a bitch in your house. Like,
so let me say this so everybody who's listening that you understand this. You can check behind me if you want to. If you are on a lease, there's a few states here and there, but for the most part, when you are in a state in the U.S., the continental U.S. of America, if you live in an apartment with a chick and your name is on the lease, and you have them change the locks on the lease, she can try to take legal recourse against you. But at the end of the day, she can't get her ass back into that apartment because she's not on the lease. The apartment manager is not in any way, shape, or form allowed or going to put her back into that apartment without you saying it's okay.
That's a fact.
And just let me say this real quick.
That shit will fuck you up because I've seen it done out here.
No. You make a point about the mail. You do make a point about the mail because it's like that in the state of Illinois. If she get mail there, she's established residency. That's why I say you don't let no chick just get random mail to your house. If you see that, you break over her immediately. If y'all ain't even had that conversation. But also, as I said in my scenario, I may not even go to the crib that night. I'm just gonna let her wander. You know what I'm saying? And then her stuff just get moved somewhere else during the next day or something like that. I'm not gonna even let her know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I want it to be a mystery to her. Period. You know, she gonna call me at night. She ain't gonna know what happened. She'll be worried and crying and all that type of stuff. Whatever the case is, whatever she gonna do. Maybe she don't care. Maybe she go off with dude. You know what I'm saying? She already flirting with dude. Maybe she go off with him. Who knows? But I ain't worried about how it's gonna come out. My thing is, I'm gonna get your stuff to your people crib. So you got your stuff. Now I'm gonna change them locks. You ain't established no residency. We don't need to talk anymore.
I mean, with me, man, I feel like if you're not gonna get gangsta all the way, you might as well be as civil as possible about the situation, because it's like,
hold on.
It's really a waste of energy.
I feel like Trav was going to say some real shit right
there. Wait a minute, Trav, what I'm saying is very civil? Ain't what I'm saying very civil?
I mean,
you're not
like,
even confronting her.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'll just get her kicked out the club, and I probably wouldn't speak to her again. But if she lived with me, I'm gonna let her pick up her stuff as she please. I'm not changing no locks. I'm not trying to even play anybody when I say this, but that's like a little too emotional for me. You dig what I'm saying?
But
like, I'm not gonna sit here and say that I wouldn't be hurt about the situation, but me doing all that extra shit is a waste of energy.
So let me do this. So let me do this because you don't change.
Let me say this real quick. You didn't say she lived with you. You just said you gave her a key to the place, but she doesn't live with you.
Oh yeah,
living with you a little bit different. My thing is, I get what he's saying about living with you, but he didn't say she lived. She just said, Donnie said she has a key. My thing is, okay, you have a key, so you gonna have something in my crib. That's why I'm gonna get it to your people's place, and then I'm gonna change them locks on you. I don't owe you nothing
like
because you don't live
that's
there.
A little too much. Like you could just pack her shit neatly away, tell her to come pick up her shit, and give you your key. At that point,
that's giving her a chance to act crazy.
Yeah,
I respect Trav's answer.
It's like if I got to do all that extra shit, I might as well go all the way. I might as well call the homegirls to jump her. Like if I know where she lives, I might as well shoot up a house. All that. I'm like, word. So I might as well, instead of me doing all that craziness, I might as well just let it go and let the shit be.
These niggas don't know how to react. Nigga, you niggas is out of pocket.
Oh my god.
You can't be emotional, man. You can't be emotional.
He said, "Don't be emotional. I'm here to bitch about the club and beat up."
I mean, like if you're gonna get like that, you might as well go all the way instead of just being petty and switching locks. You might as well get somebody to fuck up while you at it. Like,
sorry, my point was to keep it easy. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Don't get emotional with her. Don't even let her get a chance to get into a fight with you and all that type of stuff. Because you're right. If the cops get involved, more than likely they're gonna take her side. I don't have time, energy, and spare to explain myself to police. I don't need to go to jail, sitting there for a night, or none of that stuff. Period. If you don't live with me, your stuff is no longer there. You don't have a key to the place. There's nothing for us to talk about.
I mean, shit. This is funny as fuck. I mean, who would not? Kev, what are you doing in this scenario?
All right, so you say I'm in the club, I'm in VIP, and then we together. Like, did we ride in the same car?
Maybe you. I mean, you can pick it. You can kind of run it how you want to. But
I was gonna say, I'm dying at the idea of Kev in VIP. that almost took me out.
Y'all ain't anybody watching. Y'all ain't shit.
I would say this: at the end of it all, I would definitely start cheating. But here's what I would do first. I make some connections at that club. I'm in VIP. There must be women in VIP, right? so So yeah, you know, get their phone numbers, hit them up whenever, you know, see them in the grocery store, gas station, pump their gas. So boom. So as far as her, it depended on quite a few things. If I'm getting like porno sex from her, like
Hold on. Let me put a pin in there. What is porno sex? Please elaborate for the people listening.
You done took it to a whole nother level.
Yeah, porno, like imagine your favorite porno, except for extreme shit like, you know, peeing on each other and stuff. And like, you know, gay stuff, male anal entry, stuff like that. Except for all of that, porno sex, you know.
Yo, what y'all talk about?
I mean that kind of. If I was getting that from her, if I was getting that perk from her, I'll just try to, you know, see if I can get it from her again and again. But when she stopped doing like little shit, then that's when everything starts to unfold. Like I'll change my Netflix password or shit like that. And, you know, just do a little filter and funny, like, you know, play a little bit more video games than I used to, or, you know, just go out a little bit more. And then, you know, eventually things will work itself out. The universe will work itself out, but I'll make sure that I play everything to my advantage. But, you know, as far as like checking her out, it depended on what she was doing for me. I mean, if she just has a key, if she's not here with me, stuff like that, then, you know, I'll just go on and continue to be a single guy, you know, and just do what I do. Because odds are, if we're not even staying together, I'm doing something else anyway. So I don't know if y'all understood that. That might have sounded a bit convoluted.
Yeah.
No, I got it.
We got it. I mean, I feel like Rain is mad about it, but we got it.
Why?
I mean, it's like, if you're gonna, but if you're gonna straight up,
I want to hear from Rain's perspective.
Like, I'm confused on how y'all get mad. Like, I didn't say anything at all.
I know I'm mad. I said I'm sure Rain is mad about it.
Go ahead, Rain. What's your opinion on this?
Yeah. Rain always got the you niggas ain't shit opinion.
First, you're gonna ask who we messing with.
What kind of chicks you messing with? Oh, nigga, this is scenario. Like, listen.
Fuck. Made me fuck up this damn challenge on this game.
I put you in a scenario like any good.
If a guy was flirting with like, if I'm at a club and the guy I'm with is flirting with another woman.
Let's hear it.
Let me ask you this: have you been in that scenario where you've invited a dude out and you had another nigga in waiting?
Another nigga in waiting? No.
So you've never had two dudes that you wanted to fuck with at the club, and you've been like, "Well, let me just play them against each other." Because I feel like women do that all the time.
I wouldn't play dudes. I've never put I would never put myself in a situation where I have multiple people in the same spot. I've done that before, and
okay,
I made it out safe. But
I just asked you. So have you done it before? The question is, have you done it before? You've done it before. So please elaborate. Tell me when you have done it. I don't care if you was 19, 18, 16. I just want to know about it. Let me know what happened in that scenario so we can get an understanding. So what happened? Because this is what y'all do.
Testing.
What we do? What type of shit?
Testing.
Nigga, there's no test needed. All right, we
can hear you.
Okay, you hear me? Okay, just making sure.
This nigga over here testing his phone. Testing. 1, 2, testing.
Because I don't see the sound like dots on my shit.
We can hear you, my nigga. So
we hear you fine.
But we got questions for Rain. Rain, go ahead and tell me the scenario where you niggas are playing in opposition.
No, there was no playing opposition. It was just I went to the club. There was a club out here that was popping back in the day, and I got a dude number one time. I went and got a different dude number the next time. I was talking to them. There was no relationship status. We were just talking, and they both end up at the club at the same time, and I was there.
So you've never had a scenario where you maybe have been talking to a dude, you let another dude on and let him come to like a house party or to the club event, and knowing that the other dude would be there just to make the other dude jealous?
No.
I personally feel like she's lying, but that's okay. That's cool.
No, it's no reason for me to lie about that because one, that's a fucked up situation to be in. No.
Okay.
But how did I end up with a different scenario than the rest of the people?
Because you're the only woman on the panel. If Daphne, if you blame it on Daphne, it's Daphne's fault. So what advice would you give to your son, to your brother, to your cousin, to a male friend? What would you tell me to do if I came to you with this situation? How would you tell me to respond and react?
I'm petty. Why? I would say if, oh my God. Okay, fuck it. I don't care. I would say if that type of situation happens, I would be like, go get another bitch number. Flirt with another girl in the club. Like, why? That's what I would do. If my dude's flirting with somebody, and depending on what flirting is, because there's different types of that, I would probably be like, all right, I see you. You're going to have your fun. I'm going to have my fun.
Start the drama was what you saying, right?
What?
Start the drama, huh?
So I'm starting drama because I'm going to have my...
You know some drama going to happen behind that.
I mean, drama's already because clearly you can't get your bitch right if she's flirting with another dude. You want to be technical.
What I said didn't even start no drama. It was clean and easy. And
yeah,
polite,
but you know that's women for you, man. They're gonna see, you know, they gotta take it to the next level and see who can out petty who.
No, it's not even out petty. Like, okay, well, I'm gonna kick in. If I see something I like, then I'm gonna have my fun. Like, I don't understand why it has to be like that. Just because I'm sorry, I'm not gonna go home and change my locks. If I'm living with you, 9 out of 10, you're probably on the lease, or you're probably getting mail there. So that's more drama than me than what's going on in the club.
No, he just said she has a key to the apartment. We made it clear that she did not live there. So now you adding extra stuff. She don't live with the man.
If you
she just simply has a key. That's it.
Okay, let me explain this. I'm a type of woman. If I give you a key, you're living with me. I don't give keys just because we're dating and you can come and go out my apartment as you please. No. I've only gave one key out to one man. And he's my husband now. I don't do that. Oh,
I'm just telling you what the scenario was.
Wait, so hold on. You got a husband?
Yeah, you didn't know Thotterella was married? We all shocked and surprised, huh? She a good wife, though. She taking care of the house and shit. She a good wife. I give it I'm shocked. I'm telling you, I'm shocked. But she a good wife.
Luckily, I know what I'm doing. Thank you. Yeah, Trav, my husband's black, by the way. Black all the way around.
I don't care about that. That's your business.
Yeah, I was just a shock. I was like,
the nigga voice went Drake just now. Y'all heard that? I don't care about that.
Evil. Y'all are evil. Oh my God.
And he gonna see them Drake texts later on.
You dead ass. On some New York shit, you dead ass.
Yeah, I was like,
oh shit.
I'm about to get removed from that post real quick.
Okay. So I'm gonna go to the next subject. Did I miss anybody on their answer, they rebuttal? Everybody got it here, right? Okay. So the next one, let's run through the 7 levels. So you out with your chick, and she does something to the effect of publicly embarrass you. You get into an argument. Maybe it's on how she spends the money of the house, because you two are in a committed relationship at this point. So you two are, in the household, you're splitting bills. Yeah, we splitting bills around here. And at some point you like, hey, listen, man, you shouldn't have spent your money on this. Now you broke, you don't have the money for X, Y, Z. And she comes out in front of a crew of people. Maybe it's friends, maybe it's family, maybe it's strangers. But she's on some, well, fuck you, nigga. That's why X, Y, Z. Let me think of black women always go with your dick little, or you ain't shit, or you a broke nigga anyway.
You probably gonna go in that direction on that scenario.
Yeah,
if you was a real man, you'd have took care of all of it anyway.
Right, you're not a real man. You're not a real man. So what do you do in response to you're not a real man anyway? And this, mind you, this is public. So you went out to some okay, let's say it's particularly her. We're gonna put it in a worse situation. We're gonna put it in her family. You've gone out to a family gathering with her family, and you've had some conversation. You found out that she spent too much money, and the argument is transgressed to her. Her family notices, and she says, "You're not a real man anyway." What do you do at this point?
I'm out.
Leave her. There's something like that actually happened to me. Yeah, and I stopped for like this is like probably like less than a month after. Well, yeah, or a little bit over, probably like a month and a half after my wedding.
Oh, damn, Trav.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, I didn't deal with this in 4 years, so I'm not about to deal with this. Like, you didn't act like this the whole time we wasn't married. And as soon as we get married, you get on this funny shit when your family come around. So did you feel like because she got married, she got ahead of herself, or what? I mean, not only that, it's just like a lot of different things was happening for her. Like, I was like, I'm not really gonna get on this show and try to brag and talk about a whole bunch of shit, but I lived a completely different lifestyle before I met her, and I made a lot more money than I did like at that particular time. So get into whatever you feel comfortable, but keep in mind this is for black youths, for black men that are trying to do better, maybe in your situation. So whatever you feel comfortable giving them as much as possible, and that's all I ask. Yeah. So boom, like during the relationship, I'm like kind of like changing like my whole lifestyle and progressing and doing a whole bunch of different things. Like, this is something like, before I even say what I'm about to say, like, that's just one thing like you shouldn't do. You shouldn't progress and do new things because you're with somebody. You dig what I'm saying? You should do it for yourself, like shit like that. But that's one situation. It's just like, in order for me to keep up, I had to like dip my foot in and back out in order for me to like pay for certain shit. Like, I had to do a lot of wild shit in order for me to like pay for the wedding. And it's just like, she made mad more money than me at that particular time. And it's just like, I would have to like break my neck in order to keep up. And it's just like, it just got crazy. And she tried to like disrespect me in that way. You dig what I'm saying? And I was just like, it was a dub. And it's just like, she tried to work it out after, but I was kind of like done. And before I knew it, like, she moved out, and then I just like, at that point, I filed papers and whatever. Word, but you can't.
So let me ask this. So
you can't let nobody disrespect your manhood in that way. It's one thing if you really not putting in no work, but if it's a whole nother thing when a woman tries to put like shit on you that's like not a part of your character. You dig what I'm saying? It's just not you. And they try to apply like people's outside definitions and try to make it define your manhood. You dig what I'm saying? And that's like a problem over it once they don't respect like your views and what you take seriously. Yeah.
What I want to do is I want to put a pin in some of the things that you said that kind of stuck out to me. And if anybody interject, if you feel like this stuck out to, or anything stuck out to you. So you basically are saying that you met this woman, you treated this woman to a lifestyle that maybe you couldn't quite get to, but you was going to eventually get there. But you was going out of your way to make sure that she was comfortable and everything was good. Am I understanding correctly?
Yeah.
So you went above and beyond, as any good man should, to their wife, keyword, to their wife. And you made sure that she was comfortable. Now, you did some shit that maybe, wasn't from your old lifestyle. We just go with your old lifestyle in order to keep up with what you was doing. And she, not only did she disrespect you for doing that, or was she aware of it or no?
I mean, she was, but she wasn't at the same time. Like, she really was like, she didn't start acting like that until she got around her family. Like, I really don't understand why she did that. Like, I think it had a lot to do with her not being around them for so long, and her being around me for so long kind of made her forget who she was, in a sense. You dig? Like, she came from,
man, I told Trav, yo, we go beat the niggas up right now. I stay telling Trav.
Listen, we never want to listen. We're not going to jump into that right now. But I'm trying to break down the conversation. So listen. So what he's saying is, for everybody listening, is that he went above and beyond. This chick, I feel like, knew she had a sense, and what he said, he pretty much confirmed it. Chicks always know. Chicks always know when you're doing a little bit extra just for them. And she got around her family and tried to high side them. So that's a level of disrespect that is
you know what? Can I
And I pulled the plug ASAP. Like, I wasn't with it at all. Like,
can I speak on that?
T, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Like you said, in terms of his wife, and then when she did that, you know, all she did was prove to him, which he wasn't looking for proof, because obviously he married her. But I think that she just proved to him that she wasn't worth the vows. You know what I mean? Because if she was worth the vows, that's a situation that even if she mistakenly said something, but like you said, we can't change the scenario. She basically said, "You ain't no man." So she already proved right there it was time. Well, she proved to him that it was time to go. And like you said, I mean, we human, we have emotions, but at the end of the day, the way you coming at me, it's not even the fact you did it in front of your family. It's the fact that you did it to yourself. Yeah. You did it, and you lying to yourself because you know I take care of you. And then if that's so true, then you look stupid as the woman because you said yes. You said yes to the ring, and you got married. So I mean, I have no rebuttals to what he said. I'm in total agreement.
I actually think that was just one of those cases because there's a lot of women who want to get married, but they want that wedding, but they never actually want to actually be married. They just want to.
And it's like what's crazy is like she like low key. Like I kind of peeped that's what it really was. Like, because at first, like we was gonna like wait a year for all this stupid shit, and I'm like after a while I'm like 10, 16, right? All right, so I'm like, yeah, fuck that. I just
you said this was 2016.
No. I was talking to somebody else, but yeah. So boom, I'm like, was really about to like wait like a year and save some real. But after a while, I was just like, no, I just want my friends around. I just want some food. Niggas, I want to smoke some weed, and I want to have this in my neighborhood. And that's pretty much what I did. I didn't even spend that much money. And like, you could tell like by the way her family was moving that they wasn't comfortable with that. You dig? And I kind of seen it was a problem because it was just like, bruh, like this is what I wanted to do. I expressed this to her. You dig what I'm saying? And she was cool with it. And now y'all in her ear, and she was happy as fuck, like super happy. But it's just like,
so when you cut her loose,
I was there. I saw it.
When you cut her loose, she was happy. That's what you're saying?
Nah, during the wedding. But I'm just like. Okay. I think her family got in the ear also and was just like, yeah, this isn't a good enough wedding for you, XYZ. Not only that, like me and her had a particular set of beliefs. So we ain't like, she told me herself she didn't want a ring. You dig what I'm saying? So there was that.
But the family got in her ear and
exactly. Yeah, you need a ring.
You need this.
You need to spend 20,000-30,000 on a wedding. I'm like, bro, whoa. She didn't say that explicitly.
Yeah.
Now, this is what I'm gonna say for every black man that's listening. Anybody interject if you feel differently. If you are a black male, we're speaking of black men because this is a black conversation. If you are a black male and you do not have an excessive amount of money, you're not running around on some Diddy shit, $30,000 for one wedding is out of pocket. You are out of pocket. If you do not have a home, if you do not have a business, you should not be spending $20,000 to $30,000 for a wedding. Period.
Exactly. So I just put together 5 G's and that's it.
Nice and sweet.
Just nice and sweet, quiet, and
sacred and sentiment.
Exactly.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. And I'm a woman.
Honestly, I was at the wedding. I was there. I thought it was real nice. He was happy. They looked happy. Like you could tell that's some shit that he would want to do. Yeah, like it didn't look out of pocket for him. Like when you saw Trav there, you ain't see it, and it was like, oh, go ahead.
Good night, go ahead.
Like you said, I mean, like you said, they talked about this. So that's the sad thing is that him and his wife, his ex-wife, obviously, had sat and had a conversation about this. To make sure, look, this is what we're doing. They made a joint decision.
Yeah.
And the fact that you could let that was not meant to be, or was meant to happen how it happened, because if she the type of woman anyways that lets, you know, her family get in her head, that would have interfered in so many things, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they couldn't even make it to the honeymoon.
Right, there you go.
Yeah.
So,
And this nigga dad like was really like pussy. This nigga was like scared of me. I low key I'm able to like sense that in people, and it's just like.
Well, this nigga is John Coxey for everybody listening. This nigga is.
This nigga was like shook.
I mean,
it was just like he would say certain
mom
things, and then I would like say something to him, and I wouldn't even be hostile, but I would like peep that he wouldn't even want to go and have the conversation anymore because he was scared. Like, and it's the kind of man she like that raised her. This nigga, he's on his like third marriage, getting divorced.
Is this her father, right?
Yeah, little bitch ass.
He's a timid nigga. I mean, you know,
soft ass nigga.
Let's talk facts. I mean, we do live in a day, you know what I mean, or we do live on this earth where majority of men, man, like my man say, low key, are timid as fuck. And I guarantee you, the shit that he say to his daughter, he'll never say in front of dude.
Exactly, he is simp. Like I'd respect him a lot more if he got at me and said everything he had to say to me. I'd probably listen to him. He keeping all the way real. If he really had to say, bro, I want this and that, and I want this and that for my daughter. You dig? I'd respect him a lot more, and I'd probably listen to him. If this nigga was shook at me, he going whispering in her ear. I'm hearing her say little shit she never said before, so I knew it had to be him saying this shit. You dig? Like,
right.
My thing is, if they got that much an opinion, why wasn't he paying for it? That's my thing.
Exactly.
And let me say this, so everybody understands: when you have a marriage and a traditional marriage, the father of the bride, the family of the bride, is paying for that wedding. But go ahead.
Yeah, man. That's all and I don't know. Not only that, like you could tell her friends and family were like scared of my friends and shit, like because they kind of like kept their distance from them, like. But my friends was like mingling with everybody, and they was like shook like the whole time, like they didn't even really interact with us like that.
Let me ask you this: How big was the wedding?
I'm gonna say like less than 100 people, probably like 50, 60 people. But like at the end of the wedding, like my whole hood came through. So at the end of the wedding, there probably had to be like 200 people in there. Like,
okay. So you know what? That's gonna bring me to the next question. The next question, I'm gonna put it out there, and we're gonna deal with it. But I want to get everybody on the panel first. But you brought up the next question, and it's coming from your situation. So, who's next? We got T. What are you doing in this situation? You out with your people, or her people, and she say some shit to the effect of "You ain't no man." How do you respond? How do you react to this?
Well, I have to ask this, even though it wasn't, deep. You know, the situation wasn't detailed, but like, who's around? Her moms, her pops, or
we're gonna say her mom, her pops, her cousins, extended family members. You out with her? Maybe you at a family reunion. Maybe you at a family party. But you know, the bulk of the family that really matters is there.
What would I do? Honestly, and this is my wife, right? This is my wife, right?
What'd you say?
This is my wife.
Could be your long-term girlfriend. Could be your long-term girlfriend. You've been with her for a couple of years. You planning on a wedding ring, but you know you headed down that road regardless. So what are you doing? Maybe it's your wife. Maybe it's your long-term girlfriend. I don't want to put the label on.
Right. Because then I understand. You just saying in general, somebody close to you and y'all got a bond. If that happened, I would literally I'd just leave, and then later on, I would definitely have a conversation. You know what I mean? I would definitely have a conversation and let her know, you know, like, not even the conversation wasn't cool, but my words would simply be, look, since you feel like that, and I respect the way you feel, I think you need to feel that elsewhere. And myself, I'd start the process, which is, all right, so listen, this is when you need to be out by. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even say nothing in front of the family. You know what I'm saying? I know my man's situation is different because it was actually his wife. But for me, if you said just my long-term girlfriend and that happened, or any woman, if you feel like that, I think you need to feel like that elsewhere. I respect how you feel. You know what I mean? But this is it.
I don't know. With me, when I get angry and shit, I shut down. So I just stopped talking to her like 2 weeks. As soon as I peeped that she's like listening to them, like for like 2 weeks, I didn't say nothing to her. Like she would text me, she would like talk to me in the house, and I'm just like, I'd probably be smoking in the living room, or like eating or playing the game, and I just wouldn't say shit, wouldn't even look at her, and like
But
probably
do you
like,
feel like that was an adequate response, being that I mean, because honestly, you're not talking to this woman, so I get maybe a day or two, but you said for 2 weeks. How do you move for 2 weeks in the house when you sleep with this woman?
It happens. No, bro. Let me before my man comment, because I have a female, and we at one point in time we were in a bad space. That is possible. You can do it.
And I work overnight, so it's just like that's another thing. Like it made it easier the fact I worked overnight.
Okay, so it was easy to kind of lapse the time. Right. You didn't really talk to her.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, like you said, like real talk, I would just be like, it's over for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty much done, because that statement right there is everything. You know what I mean? That one statement right there is everything, and it lets me know that I should no longer do the providing that I do for you. You know what I mean? And we done, so we just move on. No animosity, no nothing. Thanks for letting me know how you feel. Now, if I was in my man's shoes and I had did the wedding, I would be vexed to the 10th power. You know what I mean? And but still, I would handle it the same way. It's just time. It's over. No doubt. Ain't nothing to talk about. It is what it is. You know what I mean? That's it. Because the things I'm going to say, they won't even express how I really feel. Because how I really feel is, you try to play me, I'm gonna punch you in your mouth. But I don't believe in none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I would definitely just be like, it's over. You know what I mean? That's it. Ain't nothing to talk about. You got time to find your spot, and that's it.
Okay, I can run with that. So we're gonna hit the next person in the panel.
I want to hear from a woman's perspective, though.
We got Raindrop, the thought bop.
It's Mrs. Thought to you, sir.
Mrs.
Help you.
We didn't get married, so you missed out. You could be my little sister. Go ahead.
No, I'm a Mrs. I'm being funny, but fuck you. What's up? What do you want to know?
So you in this position, and because I want a woman's perspective. So you in this position, you around his family, and he said, you know what, you're not handling your position as a woman. You are not doing what you're supposed to as a woman, and you're around his family. And motherfuckers look at you crazy. I don't know. Maybe you didn't make him a plate. I don't know what caused this scenario, but you're not doing what you're supposed to do as a woman. How do you handle that around his family? Keep in mind, this happened, with his mom and sister watching or whatever.
And he said that in front of me.
In front of them.
Yeah, in front of them. I mean, yeah. I think I would be mad, but I probably wouldn't even try to argue in front of them. Like, especially my people. His mom, no, she might have a heart attack if I say the shit I wanted to say in front of her. If I was disrespected like that, I'd probably just leave. Like, I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm gone. Catch you later. We'll talk about it.
So what happens when you get home?
What's next?
What do you mean? What's next? What's next?
When you get to the crib and you had that conversation, what do you do then? What occurs?
Actually, I would probably go around the house and not talk. Like, it's been times like I wouldn't talk to him for like hours doing, and we'll try to resolve things. Like, if being disrespected like that, I wouldn't talk to you. I couldn't talk to you.
Yeah, exactly.
What could I honestly say to you at that point?
But it's
eventually we would have to have that conversation and figure out what's the issue. How was that said? Why did you do that? So yeah, we would just have to have a conversation. We had to sit down and talk. And if things aren't going right, if things are not working out, we need to figure out what's the next plan, because I don't believe in being in a relationship, trying to work things out, toxic stuff out like that. Like, I'm not gonna say if I feel like I can't be happy in it. I've seen too many people. I got a friend, she's married and she's unhappy as fuck, but she doesn't want to get a divorce because she doesn't want to seem like a loser. Like, I don't know.
That's some wrong thinking right there.
a lot of women do that, and I'm like, fuck you.
Men too.
So like, I would either try to talk about it, work it out, or it's a wrap.
But I think like my man, I think what my man said and his response, or any man's or any woman's response, if they reacted just like I said or just like he said, I think that shows that you know your worth and you refuse to let anybody do anything. You know what I mean? That you know that like if somebody says something or does something that doesn't reflect your worth, and you know your worth, and they should know your worth, I think you just should peace out, regardless of what the relationship is. Marriage, long-term relationship, you know, family. You know, you can't divorce family, but you can definitely stop fucking with them. You know what I mean? So I don't know. If a person don't know your worth, why even be around them?
And these is all valid points.
Straight like that. And anybody who worried about what other people got to say, lame as hell. Like, niggas, your life and shit. Motherfuckers is worried about what other people got to say. Like, nigga, put your goddamn fist in their mouth if they got something to say.
Right.
Okay, so we got that perspective. Let me ask you, Rogerio, Radio Raheem, what exactly are you doing in this scenario? And you know, this is your long-term girlfriend, maybe your wife, future wife, whatever the scenario you want to put it in. What are you doing with your woman? And she says you ain't no man.
She killed the future wife part right there. Even if I was thinking about it, she just killed that. But I'm gonna say something back. I'm like, well, if I ain't no man, what that make you? Because last time I checked, a real woman with a real man. So let's examine where you are, you know. And at that point, I don't really care about your opinion no way. So check this out. Since I ain't no real man, and you know better than me, how about this real man roll up out of here? It ain't like I need you like that. You with your family, y'all cool. You know what I'm saying? Where you want your stuff sent to? This over with. I ain't got time for all that.
So you cutting up in front of the family, and not only you.
Man, I don't care your family there.
Listen, you gotta go. It's none.
Yeah, I don't care. Let your whole family know you just blew it.
Fair enough. Okay, shit. Okay, so that's where you went to that. That's the end of the conversation with her, huh?
You about to get dumped in front of your family. Look, I don't even care what you talking about right now. At the end of the day, all you need to let me know is where you want your stuff shipped to. Do you want me to bring your stuff over here? Do you want?
I mean, this is all valid shit.
Because it's not like you're gonna be welcome to get there.
So we got another individual on the panel. He's going to be a black man who's being brutally honest. He's going to habitually lie and stuff. But I'm curious with his perspective because he's currently married. So Kev, what do you do in this position when you out with her family and she says something to the effect of you ain't no real man?
Well, first of all, I just want to go ahead and throw out a disclaimer. Me and my wife do have the understanding that we don't cut up around each other's family and we support each other. So just real shit. But just for shits and giggles, I just probably peace out. Like, I mean, ain't no need for that. And then especially in front of your family, cutting the food, that might be dicey because if you're in front of her family, there's men that's possibly bigger than you there. I'm sure you'll fight your way out, but I mean, if you want to get out of it unscathed, then just leave. Just leave. Peace out. Fuck it. Bye. Let's just do what we got to do. You know, I mean, I personally don't like the shit. I mean, you ain't gonna disrespect me in front of no other grown men. Right. You know, especially we supposed to be together. You supposed to have my back more than them. That's just me though. I mean,
I personally, when you get into a marriage or when you get into a situation with a woman where I'm gonna say marriage, this is the dynamic I always want to move towards. When you get into a marriage, it's you against the world, period, point blank. I'm bodying you, Clyde, whatever you want to run it. It's me and you, and everybody else is secondary after that. Because my relationship with you comes first. Mama, cousin, brother, everything comes after my wife. But
marry your family if you feel that way.
I mean, it just is what it is. So, you know, that's a conversation we'll have. So right now we got Dwayne. Dwayne is on the panel. Dwayne is here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's going on, y'all?
You heard this conversation.
Makes some sense.
We appreciate you for tuning in. What do you do in this position as a man, and your wife has basically disrespected you in front of her family?
We wouldn't put up with that shit. No, hell no. First of all, that would be the absolute wrong thing to do. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Good and clear. Good and clear.
Oh, okay. Now that would be the absolute wrong motherfucking thing to do. Okay, because first of all, I would never do that to the person that I'm with. So you do that shit to me, we're gonna have a problem. It's definitely gonna be a problem, and it's gonna be an argument in this way because ain't no motherfucking way in hell I would sit up there and allow my spouse or anybody else to sit up there and talk shit to me in front of her parents, my parents, or anybody.
It's clear. So how do you discuss that with her? What are you saying? What are the words that are going to come into your mouth to convey that she out of pocket and she needs to get it together? Are you doing that there at the house? Are you doing that when you get home? Are you just going?
I'm not one for unless it's absolutely necessary. I ain't one for putting on a public display, especially when it comes to family. I believe when it comes to stuff that happens between a husband and wife, it's shit that should be dealt with in private. So that's just my opinion. Some people will deal with the situation right then and there and just be like, calm down or whatever. Me, I'll get home and we'll sit there and we'll talk about it, and she'll know that I'm pissed off when I'm sitting up there ignoring her ass for the rest of the night. But otherwise, I would just sit up there and be like, look, that's how we ain't fixing to do that shit. I didn't appreciate that, but for the most part, she'll know because if she says something and I feel embarrassed, I'll get up and walk the fuck off.
Okay, so we got some walk-offs. We got Roger with the, hey, listen, I'm going direct at you. You can cut up in front of your family. I'm gonna cut up with you. Okay.
I was gonna say, I want to also say this. I wouldn't want to argue in front of like the family because it's them against you because you already pick.
Yeah, because sometimes arguing in front of your family can make a situation even worse, especially when they're highly opinionated like mine are.
No, so, I feel like this. I'm getting you at the crib. You're not gonna have backup. You're not gonna have none of that. I'm getting you at yourself because I don't want you to have none of that going on. It's me and you. Since you want to bring them involved, all right, cool. I'm gonna just leave for the moment. But when we get to that house, you're gonna feel it.
Yeah, exactly.
See, my thing is this right here. In that situation, look, that's fine. I'm gonna leave. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not even gonna talk no more about it because guess what? Your family gonna have to be the ones to take you in because they gonna realize by the next day. Damn, she was big and bold, but guess what? Now we gotta take it. Yeah, you gotta take care of it now. And they're gonna be like, well, how did it go? Well, I don't know because he just put my stuff out. Oh, okay. Then somebody in that family, they ain't gonna say it, but they gonna be thinking in their head, that's a real ass nigga. Because if that bitch would have did it to me, I would have did the same shit. Okay. So, I mean, for me, it ain't no talk at the house because we have to realize we have to actually give negative and positive words they value. We got to acknowledge that. You know what I mean? When somebody says something negative, that's how they feel. And I can't go to sleep with a talk. It's not even about me being a man. I'm just that type of person. Like, I can't go to sleep and I done heard that talk come out of your mouth. And just because we had a conversation, nah, hell no. It's a wrap.
Well, let me make this clear. I'm not even promoting arguing. But like I said, when she say something like that to me, I'm going to say something slick back to her like, well, what that make you? Because only a real woman be with a real man. I'm going to make it clear. I want the family to hear it because I need them to understand her being welcome and wherever we live, she no longer welcome at that point. Y'all finna people that's finna, y'all are about to get involved with her in some kind of shape, way, form, or fashion. Because whatever we need to do to get separated, this process is starting right now. So when she start calling somebody in a week or two, talking about, yeah, he really put me out, I don't want it to be no mystery where it came from. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm basically
that
making
part.
an announcement.
That part.
I'm making an announcement to the family. Like, yo, I ain't playing with you like that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to beat her up or argue with her, but I'm definitely gonna say something to her. Everybody gonna know it's a problem. You know what I'm
That
saying?
part.
I don't mind leaving, but they gonna know when I leave, she ain't welcome to come back. And now I
But
may
you know
not be able
what
to put her
though?
out, depending on the living situation, but they gonna know she's not welcome.
But you know what's so funny? Like, it's always somebody like
Can't put
that
her out
got
if
sent.
y'all married and she got on the leave.
Well, he didn't say married, so I didn't hear nothing about marriage. So that's why I said, depending upon what our
Oh, I thought
living
I
situation
thought
is.
this was
Yeah.
married.
Now, when he first said the
Yeah.
scenario, he didn't say married. So I'm not. First of all,
Oh, but
I
he
don't even
did
think
say
my
y'all
wife
she
is.
actually lived with you, so you can't really put
Yeah.
her out.
That part.
No. I said
You got 30
I
days.
did say no. I did say we're going to go into the next part, but she's going to know she's not welcome. Now, if you want to live with me while I'm not being welcoming to you, that's on you. That's what you deal with. You choose to be here while I'm gonna act the way I'm gonna act. More power to you.
I mean, I feel what the man said. The man said you took it to a certain level. I'm gonna continue the level. You're not just finna sit here and clown me, and I'm gonna sit here quietly. Like we're gonna let everybody know. Okay, cool. You took it to this level. This is what we're gonna be. In the same breath, I understand that you may not want to cut up in front of her family because you don't want to have a certain element put out about you, but she took it there. So you already there. Why not, respond so everybody know what the level is? Oh, okay, this is what it is.
I don't
And
think men should respond in a situation like that, especially when the family are around, because that can turn into an ugly situation.
Also,
and then the cops are called, and it's all this extra drama. Now,
also,
Roger, that's some drama you should avoid.
But no.
Yeah.
I'm not saying drama. What I'm saying is I'm gonna say a slick comment so
Mm-hmm.
everybody gonna know we
But
get
again,
out.
if you already know that slick comment and you got a brother there or
I don't
sister
care nothing
there,
about her. I don't care nothing about none of that.
don't do that. Don't do that.
No.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying we.
hold on, let me say this. Regardless of what is going around your family, I don't give a fuck what your family is, who your family is. Yeah, I'm a man at the end of the day, so I don't care nobody but God, and I'm an atheist, so that says a lot. So you have to understand, if you really come into a position with me and you trying to show out in front of your family, fuck what your family got to say. You already put it there. Now, if we in a conversation and we trying to keep it within the closed doors, I understand the dynamic, but you've already showed your ass to the point to where you are letting your family in on our little secrets and everything that we have going on. At that point, it should be.
No. Oh yeah, that part right there. Fuck that. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is, I'm not even trying to create.
Beat up the sister or mama. So
no. What I'm saying is,
I'm saying smack her in the face on some Ike Turner type shit.
Oh no,
I'm not.
Because if I say my mouth is slick, if you say something slick, I know I'm going to say something 10 times worse, and then the family gonna be ready to fuck me up, and I can't go to jail. Like I got kids to get the whole thing. I'm not.
Well, my point is, I'm not trying to create the drama. The thing is, she said something slick, so I'm gonna say something slick back. Now the family's on notice that we not cool no more. Cause my thing is, we friends or enemies, so they already know we not cool no more. You can come to the house if you want to, but you're not gonna be welcome at any particular point in time. I'm gonna walk out. Everybody gonna know I'm not cool with her, and we not together like that. They gonna all know it already. So, like I said, when they get them phone calls in that week or 2 weeks or whatever, and she thinking about what she gonna do and talking about how can I make this right, they gonna know where all that came from, and they're gonna be hopefully a little bit more willing to take her in because we gonna sever whatever we got to sever. If we stuck in the lease, okay, well we will be stuck in that lease until that relationship ends. But at the end of the day, whatever we had, she killed it. Whatever she had, we killed it. You know what I'm saying? She killed it right at that moment. It's
I
over
know
with.
somebody that is literally stuck in a lease right now. I don't know why they did this. They jumped into a relationship with a chick they met, and it was only 3 months. They moved in together, and shit had hit the fan like multiple times. And now he ain't got nowhere to go, and he's stuck in a lease with this chick. So
Well,
he's
my
just
thing
living
is,
a year out of being. I just find that being crazy as fuck.
that's not a big deal for a man. If a man is stuck in a lease with a woman, all he got to do is totally ignore that woman. It's gonna drive her crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just how women are. They emotional, they get attached, and all that type of stuff. What'd you say?
Not every man's gonna do that because you got men have needs just like women. That's in-house.
But you can go get your needs fulfilled elsewhere.
In the same bed. Like I doubt.
Like that's another thing I feel like men need to do when it comes to women, man. You can't make pussy everything. You dig?
Right.
It's hard for men to do that.
No, like you gotta treat your dick like a holiday. You dig? Like,
right.
Well, my thing is, even if we were stuck in a lease, I even said it. Even if we stuck in a lease, you're not the one I'm having sex with anymore. I'm going outside the house for sex. At that point, you're done, and you're gonna know you're done. You know, once his lease is up, we can go our separate ways.
I mean, I agree. What more is there to talk about after that?
Yeah, and I know women hate being ignored, so it's easy for me to just ignore you. I don't care about you being there no more. You gonna understand we here because of this lease, but once this lease over with, just make sure you got a spot to go to, because you ain't my problem at that point. Because you're really not my problem now.
So you out of here.
Yeah. So if you just want to live with a nigga that don't care nothing about you, that's your business.
There's some petty bitches out there that will make niggas' life miserable like that.
You ain't gonna make mine miserable.
Free game. So fellas, be careful. Like,
whoa, because we're not ducking past this. Because Rain said it in a matter of fact way, like, oh yeah, no, you gonna do this to me? I'm gonna make your life hell. So what are you doing to make you pissed off at the dude? What are you doing to make his life hell and miserable? What are you doing? I do what Rain is doing.
Like if I was in a situation where a guy was
not even going to incriminate you because you married. So what would you?
What would I do? No, I'll tell you what I would do. Like I have no issue. Like if I'm living with somebody that is like Roger and want to ignore me and shit, okay, we're stuck in this lease. All right, you're gonna ignore me. I can ignore you too. Like I'm cooking my own meals. Figure it out. I'm cleaning my own mess. I'm not cleaning. I'm washing my own clothes. Like a lot of men gonna be like, really, fam? So you not gonna fix my plate? All right. I gotta go get my
I would never say that to you.
You know what?
I actually cooked better than Shorty.
Yeah, I would never say that
to you. Wrong niggas. Wrong. You talking to the wrong guys for that. We way too self-sufficient over here. You talking to the wrong dudes for that.
I'm petty. Like if I really wanted to be dirty.
Cause she said it like it was like you're not gonna do my laundry.
Yeah, like we about to be walking around with dirty ass clothes and starving and shit. No,
like my shit a certain way. Hold on.
I was taking care of myself before.
Y'all kind of making me.
No. The amazing part to me was that you didn't even.
Opinions let me make mine. Like I stated.
I feel like you wanted to say something, but she didn't want to say it. So go ahead and say with the real.
As far as sex goes, like if we're still sleeping in the same bed, I'm gonna masturbate right next to your ass and get my nut and go to bed.
That's your business.
That's cool. I like that.
What the fuck? Shut up, Roger. I didn't say anything.
Nigga, I'm watching. Nigga.
No, you know what? No, my thing is like when I say what I said. When I say what I said about saying something back at the house, and by the time I leave, everybody gonna know it's over with. I'm not gonna expect you to do my laundry, because I already know I'm doing my own laundry at that point. I'm doing everything for myself. I don't really need you at that point. You're done. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're gonna do your own because I don't have your back.
Because a lot of men are gonna be wanting others.
We need more women in the show.
We could add one to the show, but Trav already said he
Nicole at. Oh, where's Trey at?
Nah, don't add that goddamn stick.
Come on through.
Yo, no, not today. Not today. We ain't got there.
But yeah, like I mean, I'm doing some shit because I get you guys might not be like that or whatever, but it's men that still like
weak. I know there's a lot of weak men out there.
I wouldn't say well, I mean weak.
It's weak.
Oh, because they don't want to do that, like wash their own shit.
They can't do that. There's some dudes who can't do that. So before I got in a relationship, I was single. I had to do this shit for myself. I didn't rely on some neighbor or some mythical genie to come do this shit.
Word, I've been on my South 17. I had to learn how to do all that shit on my own. Like, I had women coming in and out my life who would have more than who would be more than happy to do that kind of shit for me, of course. But for the most part, I've been by myself. So it's just like I had to learn how to cook on my own or be broke because a nigga wasn't like I remember the first couple of months I was on my own. I had to like go out every night. Then I realized, you know, like if I don't learn how to cook, I'm gonna end up starving out this motherfucker. You dig? Like so there was that. Then you have to learn how to do laundry. Then you have to learn how to clean up because if you can't clean up your house, that means you're not gonna get any kind of worthwhile pussy. So you have to clean your house. Like that's one thing.
Although I've heard smash bitches that had they got roaches in the house, but that's
exactly. Not. You're gonna be fucking a whole bunch of dirty, just a bunch of undesirable women, and you don't want to do that. You have to make sure you have your decor straight. Like there's the reason why like I painted my crib, and I'm still remodeling, but I'm remodeling, like so I could attract the right kind of woman I want in my life. You dig what I'm saying? Like. I'm not even talking to too many chicks right now. Like every chick I'm like I kind of speak to, they kind of want to speak to me, and I'm not really paying them no real attention. But there's no woman I'm really entertaining right now. So it's just like I'm doing everything I'm doing, not really to attract a woman, really just to be a better man in general. But I know me doing a lot of the things that I'm doing, it's gonna attract the kind of women that I want to deal with, you know.
And I'm gonna say this: I had this thing called parents when I was growing up, and when we was like young, they told us we had to do X, Y, and Z. So like, this is your week to clean the kitchen. This is your week to clean this. This is your week to cook this. This is your week. Like I already know I do all that stuff. So it's like, yeah, I understand if you a buster dude who don't do nothing for yourself, and your mama done took care of you all your life, and then you move right in with a chick,
okay, now
you
y'all
don't do nothing. Yeah.
I'm gonna say this: a lot of guys get comfortable when a woman is in the house, right or wrong. Not saying you guys. I'm speaking in general. Because you niggas, god dang, I get it. Like it's not you, but I'm just stating, like men get comfortable when the woman's in the house. Like,
you're supposed to. You're supposed to. But at any point, if you get up and leave me, just like the CEO of a company, if an employee leaves, he ain't gonna let his company fall to the ground. He ain't gonna let his company fail. He's gonna step up and handle that and get somebody to replace that employee.
Yeah, you know, a guy said a line in Heat that makes a lot of sense. I don't know if people really paid attention to it, but he said you should be able to walk away from everything in 30 seconds.
Exactly.
So if you're not talking about some actual,
yeah, exactly. Like that's what I was about to say.
It's not
like
a movie.
Heat.
Yeah, but I'm saying we don't live in a movie world, so you wouldn't walk away from your wife or your kids like that. But anything else, oh, it ain't that serious. Anything, any chick that ain't your wife can easily be replaced. That's not an issue.
Nah, bro, you got to be just as cold even with them.
Yep. No.
We're not.
I agree with that.
I'm on like that's the first time I was with Shorty damn near half a decade, and that was the first time I act wrong I got out of her ever, and I cut it off like ASAP. Like,
well, my thing is I ain't gonna go against that. I ain't married one. I ain't gonna go against it. My thing is every man needs to do whatever he want with his wife. But I know if she ain't your wife, you ain't made that much of a commitment. Ain't nowhere in the world she should be able to have you all messed up like that.
Yeah,
definitely not.
True, that is true.
Well, you know, I think that some men, when they get into relationships, they hang their manhood up, you know, in a certain sense. You know what I'm saying? Or they let go of their individuality. You know what I'm saying? They let go of that. I don't know. They lose sense of self. You know what I mean? So when things happen, you know what I mean, they can't react the way they should. You know.
I wouldn't even say it like that.
It's my thing is if you don't know how to remove emotion when emotions aren't deserved, you know what I mean? Like you got to realize when a situation causes for logic, and then you know realize when a situation causes for emotion. You know, no difference than just say for instance, whether it be the man or the woman, give the other significant other some bill money. You know what I'm saying? And that person don't pay a phone bill or light bill or something. That's not a time to be upset. That's a time to, you know what? Let me get this money if you don't have it, and I still got to take care of business. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, my thing is some men, I'm not gonna even say it's a switch. Some men, their manhood is based on pussy. There's better men, their manhood is not based on pussy.
That's facts too.
That's like that's low key a big problem, bro. Cause like you got niggas.
That's why so many niggas die. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, you good. But yeah, exactly. That's another thing. People promote being a certain way, and they'll promote a certain lifestyle, and they'll get all tied up over pussy. You dig what I'm saying? And it's to the point where I kind of like I low key like kind of learned to treat like don't take me wrong when I say this. I kind of learned how to treat like the relationships I have with women, like kind of like the same way I do with men. You dig what I'm saying? Like
right.
you kind of you can't make them, you can't get them no kind of leeway. You dig what I'm saying? The same way if a man violate me, if a woman does it, even if she does it on some, because women like to do little sneak disrespectful shit, and they'll try to act like they do it based on a lack of understanding, and that's not true. And you have to nip it in the bud right there. Not saying you got to punch them in the face. You dig what I'm saying? But
I just like the way you went right to punch them in the face. But
I'm saying that you know you don't have to do that. Like, but it's just
I know. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I've got to nip it in the bud ASAP because women do little faggot shit like that. Like they'll say little faggot shit, and then when you like try to bring it out in the open, they'll try to act like you're overreacting. And fuck it, they'll be like, okay, fine, I'm overreacting. Don't talk to me like that. You dig what I'm saying? Like if you was a man and you open your mouth to me like that, or if you did some wishy-washy shit like that to me and you was a man, I'd break your face. So I'm just like, just chill. Don't be doing no shit like that. Or just don't fuck with me. Like, because once you mention that, like, yeah, if you was a man and you did that, I'd break your face. They try to act like you're like abusive or trying to be abusive towards me. No, bitch. Like, I'm just telling you what it is. Like, there's certain shit you just don't do.
Right.
Is there anybody on the channel that I missed as far as this question goes?
Please skip. Next.
Who have I missed? Anybody? Nobody? Speak now, forever hold your peace.
Nah, I think you got everybody, yeah.
Okay, so the next question I have is based on Trav's his response and what he was doing, and this is something I see a lot in the black community because I'm a black man. I don't know about white people. I'm sure it happens, but you know, we're only concerned with our community. So the question I have to ask is, what do you do when your significant other is out here giving your business, your information, your trials and tribulations as a couple to family members or friends, and it's starting to be an openly discussed thing? You know,
can I go first?
Go for it.
All right. I personally would tell her, like, you know, the thing is, if this don't work out because you told all your business, they're gonna be looking at you crazy. You know what I mean? Or you give them things to judge you for. Because at the end of the day, you're the only one that they have a connection to if everything goes left. You know what I mean? So and friends too. You know what I mean? So it's no, like when you're telling your business and things don't work out, then you give them an opportunity to judge you, whether it be, girl, you were stupid for doing this, or you should never like, you give people opportunities. You know what I mean? That's why you never tell your business. You know, and I can talk on that situation because when me and my lady first got together, you know, I remember this, or it might backfire on you a different way. When me and my lady first got together, she had this chick that she thought, you know, was cool, was her friend. And it was the beginning of our relationship. And she sort of kind of trusted this chick to tell her all of our business. You know what I mean? And this bitch went on social media or something and made a post, you know, describing, you know, everything that we was going through, you know what I mean? And, you know, and word got around and shit like that. And I'm like, you see what I'm saying? You never put your business out there because You know what? Because when a person come to me with their business and they getting too deep, I'll be like, yo, that's your personal business. Keep that to yourself. You know what I mean? You don't want to give nobody the opportunity to judge you for nothing when you know their judgment isn't worth anything anyway.
At the same time, I think it's more like this. You dig what I'm saying? With me, it's like it's not a you telling our business. It's like, yo, are you telling the whole truth? You dig what I'm saying?
That
Like
too, yeah.
that's the main issue. Like motherfuckers would be like telling half truths or a quarter of a truth. Like she could, like for example, like if I'm not out here doing no sucker shit, or I'm just doing shit that's like that kind of falls in line with my overall nature. I'm not gonna feel bad about what anybody's saying about me. But once you lie or you leave out certain important details, that's when things become a problem because like for example, Shorty could say, "Oh yeah, he's this and that and this," but she won't mention, "Oh yeah, he did this and that and this to make sure that we straight," or he did this and that and this to make sure we can live in this kind
So
of
what
place.
you saying is she tell all the negative shit, but she don't tell the positive you did.
Exactly, and it's just
Quick to
like
talk about how you ain't shit, but she won't tell you how you went out of your way to make sure that she was straight and everything.
and it's just like if you really wanted to, you could be lame. You could pull out all the bullshit they did, and you could talk about it with their family or your family or whatever. You still won't do that. You'll still keep their secrets. You dig? Like,
Word.
Yeah, as it should be. Well, damn, there's a couple people that dropped off out of here. Rod, what are you doing in this particular scenario?
I mean, I would advise her to keep some of this stuff to herself because at the end of the day, once you start talking too much, it just starts creating problems. And because too many people got too many opinions, and you can't live by their opinions no way. Since you with me, you're gonna have to deal with my opinion because I'm gonna be the one that count. So it's like a waste of time to even tell them all that stuff. You're only gonna cause stress from yourself because I'm not gonna care how they respond to it anyway.
Right,
And if
right.
somebody start making suggestions to me, they better throw some money on the table,
I hold them
and
shit.
I might consider it. You know what I'm saying? But if you ain't got no money to put toward whatever we talking about, I ain't worried about that. What they talking about like that? You know what I'm saying? The people I choose to get advice from, I'll seek them out. I don't need people coming to me trying to give me advice. You know what I'm saying? If I thought your advice was of that quality, you would be one of the people I would come to for advice. You know what I'm saying? So other than that, if you got an opinion, throw some bread and I consider your opinion. You know, my parents told me you got to pay the cost to be the boss. So if ain't nobody trying to put no money toward it, it's a waste of my time to hear what they talking about anyway. So it ain't gonna do nothing but create a problem for her because I'm not gonna deal with the backlash of her talking. I'm just gonna say what talk to her about and see what she says. You know, so it's just gonna be uncomfortable for her at that point.
Hey, as it should be. I think you know that this is one of those conversations where it's like, you know, genuine maybe say, ain't none of your friends' business. We all know the trifling auntie. We all know Sister Odell. We all know Sister such and such, who 45 years old, still strong in the Lord, but ain't got no man. But she up at church altar every Sunday and giving everybody advice for their marriage. We all know somebody who, you know, shouldn't be giving advice, but they're giving advice and the woman is taking it. And for that matter, it could be the man too, but they're giving advice and the woman is taking it. So, you know, at that point, I always tell people, if you give advice, you always need to be able to accept that your advice went wrong and take care of that person. So if you give somebody some bad advice and they end up on the couch or they got to get the fuck up out, you need to be able to take that person in because you were the one that led them down that path. And I tell every woman I'm dealing with, if such and such gave you some bad advice, then you need to go ahead and stay with that bitch. If such and such gave you this advice, then, you know, how is their life running? Oh, so she's single with no man? Never take advice from never take a shirt from a man with no shirt. So, you know, I'm curious how the female perspective comes from this. Rain as a woman, what do you do in these situations where, you know, a friend is maybe giving you advice and you know, she ain't got no man. She ain't got shit going for herself. How do you take the advice? Are you going out and telling all your business to your friends? What are you doing?
I'm not taking that advice. Like, I do what I want. I'll hear you. I listen. Like, it's cool or whatever. Like, it's cool to talk about it. I I'm the type of person, if I do discuss my business with somebody and I'm like, I clearly trust you and we have the understanding and we listen to each other, and then at the end of the day, I'm gonna do what I still want to do regardless of whatever you say, because that's most likely how it's gonna end. Because you could tell somebody, hold on, I'm about to play Fortnite, so let me mute my TV. You could tell somebody you can give all the advice in the world. It can be the greatest advice ever, but how often do those people follow? Some people have to learn on their own. So I mean, it is what it is. I'm not really tripping if somebody doesn't take my advice. I just hope they respect mine like I respect theirs. Like, okay, I hear you,
like,
but
I can't even hang around people if I feel like I can't listen to their advice. Like, even though, like, in some situations I do, like, when I was in a relationship, I had friends who tried to offer me, like, relationship advice, but I'd, like, shut them down real quick. Like, nigga, you're not about to sit here and tell me about your hood ass baby mama and how you deal with her ratchet ass. Like, you know, I'll tell them that in a second. But it's just like, it's to the point now I'm learning, like, you can't even be around people who's in situations like that, bro. Because these niggas is out here slinging dick and shit. Niggas will look at it like it's cool, but it's just like, in a sense, it's just like you see the kind of chick they deal with. It's to the point where it's like, bro, if I bring this nigga out with me somewhere and he's single, he just chooses to holler at chicks even though he got a shorty. This is the kind of nigga, if I bring him around, he's gonna scare the kind of chicks that we want away. You dig what I'm saying? Like, because he's not gonna know how to act. He's not gonna know how to carry yourself in certain environments. Like, and it's just gonna make the whole crew look bad. So it's just like, niggas, you gotta stay away from in that area. Like, if I can't take no advice from you, I can't be around you. Period.
Yeah, that makes some sense.
All valid conversation. So at this point, we got everybody. I really wanted to hear from Castro ass, but his ass is disappeared. So, I'm curious as to, the whole dynamic of this, and what men are out here doing when these conversations go awry from other perspectives. Personally, I would have the conversation. If you were telling our business, then at this point you are involving other people into our relationship. So you have to understand that our business is our business, and what we go through as a couple, we go through. Now I get that you might need a release here and there, but for the most part, everything needs to be handled internally.
Yeah.
I mean, but like, knowing how women and men talk, I always just advise women, like my man said, I always advise people to speak to somebody that's in the same lifestyle. You know what I mean? If you talking to somebody, and like he said, some niggas or some chicks or women who don't even like say if a woman talking to a woman for advice and don't even have a man, you know what I mean? Like, that's one thing I could say. Like, my lady, when she does tell me, like, I was talking to this and this, anytime she tell me about the person is always like an older woman, married,
somebody with experience in real life,
exactly,
and done been through some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know what I'm gonna say? Actually, I think.
What you say? You cut out, bro.
Of the person they're talking to, and that's why advice is used.
If you're talking, you cut out. One more time, Roger. Hello.
What I was, yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What I was saying was people gonna give advice and people gonna talk to certain people. I think that the main thing with advice is people, they give advice from a perspective of themselves rather than the person needing advice. And you get too much, that's why the advice usually comes out bad. If you advice too, a lot of
bro, you cutting out real bad. But let me say this into the interim until he maybe can get his Wi-Fi together. So I honestly, when you have conversations with people and you let family in, you let friends in, while you may be in a position to forgive, your family is not. So, you know, you have to be careful of who you tell what, because let's say I tell my first cousin, you know, I'm close with, I say, hey, listen, she did some foul shit. Your first cousin is not going to forget that shit. He's always going to remember that, but he's not going to remember how she came to you and made up. She's not going to remember how, you know, you dealt with the situation and shit's better now. So family, especially, is always on the in and out. And then, you know, friends and everything come elsewhere. You have to always remember when you have these conversations with people, you need to be with a person that can A, handle the situation, and B, is going to give you some good advice. And you don't want to be in a position to where you speak with somebody about what's going on and it is forever a grudge, because maybe you got over that shit, but the family member doesn't. Now you've created controversy in a situation in the future because you said some shit you really shouldn't have said to the wrong person.
No, that's real. That's real.
Now, what were you saying? Because you were cutting in and out.
Well, I was saying that, you know, normally the reason people give such bad advice because they don't even actually think about the perspective of the person they're giving advice to. They give advice from their own perspective. You know, like if you make a certain amount of money, you give advice from the amount of money you make. You don't give advice for the way they make money. You know what I'm saying? You give advice for the neighborhood you live in. You don't give advice for the neighborhood they live in. And that's why a lot of people give such terrible advice. My thing is, you got to be able to go to some people, but go to trusted people, of course, and go to people without an agenda. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, you got to know, there's people around you that's going to be hating because they don't want to see people happy. So you got to make sure you're talking to people who don't actually have an agenda that's against you. You know, for some reason, when it comes to women, a lot of them do give terrible advice, and they give advice from only the perspective of how can I help my friend rather than how to make your relationship happy. And that's what I find to be a huge problem when it comes to them. You know, I don't know how they look at us, but that's what I normally see when it comes to women. They give advice on how to make the woman happy instead of how to make the relationship happy.
Or make it work, yeah.
Which turns into usually a lot of problems.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I agree with everybody. This shit, you know, you have to be very aware of these things when you have these relationships. And I think a lot of times black people just aren't. So this is a conversation that needs to be had, and this is what we do. So it's getting late. We're finna turn into a pumpkin. But the last conversation I want to have is I'm gonna throw a hard curveball at you, and I'm gonna put you in a piss poor position. I'm gonna put you in a position where you just like, damn, nigga, really? This is what it is. So the curveball that I'm throwing is that you are maybe with your wife, and this is the 6th level of disrespect. All right, we can get into the 7th, but this is the 6th level of disrespect, and I feel like the 6 is enough. You are with your wife. You are out. You've gone on a cruise with her. Everything is lovely. Oh, baby, I love you. This is great. You might possibly get into an argument or whatever the case is. But at some point on this cruise, you find out that she's cheating. But not only is she cheating, the nigga she's cheating on you with is on this cruise. So you have walked in at some point and maybe caught her cheating in the cabin that you share together. She fucking another dude. Or maybe you done caught her, you done came around the corner and caught her kissing another dude. But you have a 3-day cruise. You on day 2. You on day 2. We ain't gonna make it too tough. You on day 2, so you out at sea, and you done caught her cheating. How do you respond? How do you react? What do you do as a man in this scenario? And I'm gonna let you take it first, Trav, and run from there.
I'm gonna tell them to lock me in the brig until it's time to go.
What'd you say?
I'm gonna tell them to lock me in the brig until it's time to go.
Oh, so
yo, really? Yo, real talk. That's the best advice ever, son. It's either that or it's jail.
Like, I mean, and it's crazy because I'm like, I don't know. I've never been on a cruise, but it's just like, I'm pretty sure there's somebody you can speak to, and you could.
This nigga immediately knew. He said, "Lock me on the."
I would pretty much inform them of the situation. I'd be like, yeah, I think it'd be best if y'all like lock me in the brig. Of course, you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna still go about my vacation like a regular person. I'm still gonna go eat, and drink liquor and whatever. But it's just like I'm just gonna have them just let them know like, hey man, this is what I'm going through right now. And I'm pretty sure you let anybody in that situation know what's going on, they're gonna be sympathetic and you're like, yo, bro, just let me sleep in y'all jail. You dig what I'm saying? Like at night or whatever cells y'all got open at night. And I'll go about it.
Yeah. Fuck that. Bring me my food, please. Just bring it here.
Yeah.
Bring
Just
me everything.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just like get my food and I probably had a Wi-Fi code.
That's
just do it like that. Yeah. Try to make the best of it. Anytime we dock off, I'm gonna try to meet me something. I don't know, man. Like shit is crazy, bro. Like, cause I don't know. It's crazy. It's just a lot of fucked up shit happen just because of the nature of the world, bro. Like just shit like that.
Yep.
Just happen. Like bitches just want the spotlight and just you dig. They just want everything. Like and you can't. There's nothing you can do. Like there's nothing you can do. I'm not gonna say that. Like it'd be best you just don't get emotional at all and just let shit like slide. But it's just like, bruh, like it's not even worth it. Like it really ain't.
Yeah, that's it.
You just like I'm out. You know what? Like, listen, bitch, I'm gonna kill you. So I already know what's gonna happen. Let me go ahead and just get deep.
Niggas are all going down, bro.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Titanic on this bitch. Let me just go ahead and detach from the situation and walk away. That's how you feel about it, right?
Exactly. Like you can't like, especially in a situation like that, when a man takes what's yours, there's nothing you can do, bro. Like it's basically, I'm not saying like every dude's gonna be like just straight cold about it, because I like me myself, I'm being honest and saying I wouldn't be straight cold about it. But the last thing you can do is be a sucker out here and be getting mad over some shit you cannot control. You dig what I'm saying?
Yep, that's a fact.
Like you can't.
That's how I live.
You can't get mad over shit you can't control. Even if you do get mad, just try not to make any stupid moves and just try to make it to the next day, and you're gonna be all right.
Because in addition to what he said, you know what I mean, everything was right, because you still have to live after all of this.
Exactly.
So you still have a life to uphold after this. So why do something that's going to either end up you hurt dead or them hurt dead or you in jail for the rest of your life, or you know what I mean, when you could have simply just said, you know, I know myself and I know this situation is crazy. You know what? My best bet is, you know what? Matter of fact, don't even keep me on a boat. Let me get off right here. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get off right here because that's what's best. Because I don't.
Exactly.
I mean,
if I got me a couple $dollars on me and whatever, like I'm use
good
whatever
to go.
money. Yeah, I'm gonna use whatever money I got on me, and
I'm gonna get back. Yeah, I'm gonna get back on my own, because this would be, even if they lock me in that room.
Yeah.
And bring me food and shit, I'm still not gonna be able to enjoy. And that's what I came to that place to enjoy. Matter of fact, I just need a head start to get back to the crib so I could put her stuff out.
Exactly.
So you taking a helicopter back to the mainland, flying?
I mean, we talking about a cruise, so you know they going to places that have airports. You know what I mean? Like, trust me, I'm gonna find a way back home, and you know what we do, B. So you know, I'm gonna catch a flight.
So you say you out there, bitch? Okay,
I'm non-Rev King out that bitch. Okay.
So Trav, what are you doing when you get back home and everything's said and done? So you don't realize you like this bitch. Ooh, this bitch. I was like, whoo. You get back home and it's time for that conversation. What are you doing? What is going on? What's
conversation? What you mean?
There's no conversation.
So this is your wife. So it's got to be a conversation.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Nah, bro. I'm
going straight to the lawyer's office, bro.
Exactly.
So you ghost from that point.
Yeah, I wouldn't say ghost. I'm not leaving my crib. Like, if she comes through the door, she's gonna try to talk to me and whatever, and I'm not gonna respond. If she tries anything crazy, I'm calling the homegirls, and that's it. Like, but I'll just let her know, like, bro, I'm really not trying to speak about it. You dig? I'm gonna get at you. You know, when I get at you, and I'm not going to be talking to you. A lawyer's going to be speaking to you. It's like that.
That's it.
I'm at you when I'm at you. That's exactly what I did with my ex, and she didn't even cheat on me. You dig? Like, I just say, I'm really not trying to speak. I'll get at you when I get at you. Right.
And B, you gotta keep in mind, like, you know, I mean, and I'm only speaking because me and my man, the only people who spoke at the moment, you know what I'm saying, about it. You obviously, you know, getting this reaction from dudes who like really give a fuck about themselves and their life. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, I really don't. It's just I'm not about to be out here moving like the simp. Like,
what I mean by that, like, give a fuck about themselves. Like, I give a fuck about myself and my life, so I know that decisions that are going to be made have to be beneficial for me in the future because I'm young. I still got a whole life to live. You know what I'm saying? I can't, like, even as far as, like you said, if it was my man and it happened with my man, like, I just got to keep moving because what I'm going to do? I'm going to kill you? I mean, I'm going to beat you the fuck up and then leave it for another day?
It's one thing if you like take something from me, if like you and this bitch get together and y'all rob me.
That's something else. That's different.
Or you and this bitch get together and the bitch set me up to get shot. Or
yeah. Now that's done.
Like that.
That's done. Everybody might just die. Real talk.
But if it's just you doing what you want to do and him doing what he want to do, like, nah, bro, I'm not wasting my energy. Life goes on.
Right. Agree.
Go in peace.
You said, all right.
Or, hey, go in peace or go in pieces. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you two East Coast niggas is heathen. Okay. So we have this understanding. Raj, what are you doing in this scenario?
Well, I mean, if she cheats, my thing is her head is already gone. There's nothing you can do with that woman. She's already gone to a different place, a different space in life. Now, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm gonna do the best I can, but I think it'll probably be better for her to go with dude and go to whatever cabin that he got. He got a spot there somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Make it happen with him.
Now she run back to him and said, well, he's sharing a cabin. He's got bunk beds.
What that got to do with me? They ain't got nothing to do with me. He could be sharing with his wife. I don't care nothing about all that. You know what I'm saying? Let's just keep it simple, keep it easy. You gone off with dude because that's who you want to be with. I take this for the rest of the vacation, and when we get back, we'll just take out the divorce papers, and we'll get it all settled up real quick. Because my mind is she gone at that point. There's nothing I can do with her. I can't do anything with a woman that's sleeping with another man. Women are not like men. You know what I'm saying? They sleep with men for different reasons than how we sleep with women. Once she's gone, she's gone.
Oh boy!
Now,
why did I come back?
Now we have an individual here that I love what he talk because he say some outlandish shit, but he personifies you ain't shit because he tell the truth. Motherfucker gonna tell you he ain't shit, but he's telling the truth in every way, shape, and form. Mr. Edward Anderson. And Edward, can you shout out to your channel? And I'm gonna pose the question to you, but go ahead and shout out your channel first.
No, what's up, y'all? Just type in Edward Anderson in the search. I actually need to get a forwarding domain for it and stop being lazy, but just type in Edward Anderson and look for the Morpheus picture. I finally found your channel and linked up with it because I had the shit mixed up. I'm surprised that YouTube allowed you to put you ain't shit and they ain't flagged your ass, so that's
when
that's
they do, we're gonna change it. We're gonna work on it then, but we're gonna cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah, all right, yeah. So anyway, yeah, just type in Edward Anderson and you'll find me. I'm at like 1450 right now, and I said I'd create a Facebook group once I get to 1500. So
okay, so that's a wonderful situation. So here's the scenario, and this is what I'm giving to fellas so that you understand, because this is the curveball. So that we don't went to the curveball. The curveball at this point is horrendous. I feel like. So you are out with your wife, your significant other, your love. This is your heart. This is your woman. You are on a cruise, and at some point on the cruise, maybe y'all get into an argument, or maybe she just feeling herself and do some extra shit. But you pop up in the cabin, and she's fucking another dude in the cabin. How do you respond? What do you do? We talking about short term, right then and there, and we talking about after the cruise is over. What do you do?
All right. Well, the absolute, honestly, the absolute truth is I'm gonna do some simp ass bitchified shit. and I'm gonna tell you why. Because if I get caught slipping like that, my first reaction is, going to blame the dude, was going to get mad, all that. Because my goal is to basically play a role, meaning my job is to basically put that woman in a state of comfort while I quietly start changing the incorporations of my businesses and changing my money flow up. I'm going to start putting everything, all my money is going in my mom's name. I've actually talked to my mom about this type of stuff, and even though me and my mom don't get along that like all the time because I'm the oldest, and that's something I can trust her with. All the money flow, not all of it, but like enough of it to where like the stuff that I control. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a year of me like slowly not even a year, maybe like 6 months, like me checking out, and then as soon as I get the opportunity, I'm filing for divorce. And I'm gonna do everything. I'm going for it. I got now that I know she's doing it, at that point I just need to get pictures, because if she's bold enough to do that at a cruise with a random motherfucker like that, then I know there's dick lying around. I just gotta get a private detective to go find it. I'm doing and if you think I'm just coming up with this bullshit talk shit, I'm gonna tell y'all something. And I hate it. There's a guy, I don't know if y'all heard of him. His original channel is Hustlers Kung Fu. Black dude, built that channel up to like 80,000. But he had a channel called Disruptive Male. His name is Glendon Cameron. And y'all should definitely listen to this dude. This is a 50-year-old dude, but he's a millionaire. Black dude. Y'all would like him. And he's dealt with a female that's attacked him while he was holding his daughter. You know, he was able to get out of child support because you know, he was not afraid to call and talk to the cops. But anyway, my point is, so I'm not like the only person coming up with this type of shit. My job is to protect my shit and move myself in position, because I agree with the last person. Once they do that, if they're that bold with it, you got to assume that they've been fucking in your bed. They've been doing all that, because to do that on a boat, like when did she know you there? Oh, that's to the point. That's that what Mario Winans, I don't want to know if you playing me, keep it on the low song. Y'all remember that song? That's how I'm going. I'm going straight. Yep. I'm dead serious, because the thing is, at that point, you have to, if you have something to lose, you have to understand that she's operating in a sense that she has nothing to lose. So if she's like doing that, then at that point, she's already pretty much got everything she needs. She's just waiting for a lawyer to get in her ear to tell her to press that trigger. So I'm on a clock. So really 6 months. That's the type of shit, to be honest with you, I might have shit in place, you know, just in case, because 6 months is really too long. But I'm trying to be reasonable, because you can't, if you move too fast, you'll just pull the trigger. And whoever processes divorce first is the one that's going to have the thing. Oh, yeah, and by the way, like I said before, I'm getting full custody. I'm getting all of that. And like I said, that's what the private PIs are for, because I'm catching her all of this, all of that. And I'm getting a Jewish lawyer. I'm not fucking around. I'm getting a Jewish.
Let me say this, so everybody who knows, this nigga is the grown-up version of the nigga from Home Alone. He's setting traps for your ass.
No, it's not. It's not about traps. It's not about traps. It's about an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, whatever that thing is. The thing is, if you're red pill is not about hating women or being angry at women. It's about coming to a realization that women, there are certain things that women respect and don't respect. And to keep it quick, women respect power. That's it. Logic really doesn't matter. Now, if a female comes at me with logic, then I'm gonna talk to her with logic. But other than that, a lot of these debates that we have, this gender war and shit, the reality is black women are really saying, what the fuck are we gonna do about it? That's really what they're saying. And the only thing that they really respect is you put them in a situation where they have no choice. And that means covering your ass. Because understand that if you get violent, she wins because you go to jail. So you have to be able to think. I like these questions, because these questions get brothers thinking about stuff they would not think about, because too many times we have the goof troop look and we look goofy as fuck because a woman does something as it is and you have to respond in that moment, and that's very hard. So these type of things, it's kind of like what they call, it's like war games. It's war games. That's what it is. Anyway. You know how I am, so I'm gonna exercise some self-control. So,
I mean, I agree with all of this. Like I said, Whatever you want to say about the man, that man is thorough in everything he do.
Hey, can I ask Rain a question real quick?
Please, because she was next on the list. Go ahead.
Rain, you got all these comments. I got a question for you. What you've been to Jamaica, right? You got like Jamaican relatives that are, okay. So I got a question. What do you think a Jamaican man would do in that situation to a Jamaican wife?
You petty as shit.
Do some simp shit.
What?
Huh?
That nigga killing a bitch over cheating the simp shit. Yeah.
Yeah, he's killing her.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the thing
everybody dying like that cruise ship sinking. Like, what kind of question is
and I say that the reason why I asked you that question is because the last call, when people kind of came in the middle of me saying stuff, all they heard was like threats and threats and threats. I was like, and I'm like, people, it's funny because in African American culture in particular, women it's like that knee-jerk reaction. Women are not used to like black men, as much as they try to say black men are violent or they try to play this game like we be just straight beating up our women and shit like that. In African American culture, I've heard many women from the islands, particularly Jamaica, they'll say certain things they do, they'll get their teeth knocked out. I mean, the men love their women, but there's certain things that African American men tolerate that other men in the diaspora, they like. Then I'm going to jail, motherfucker.
I've dated plenty of Jamaican men where like we've argued and like not physically fought, but it's just like pretty worse, a whole lot worse than American men.
Yeah. Now my next question is, and this is, and I try not to ask gotcha questions because you got some mileage with me for answering that matriarchy question the right way. Do you think that is that one of the main reasons that like African American women tend to kind of be scared? It's like they want island men. This is why you see black women, like black men with dreads now. You can get a lock weave, and you can get some black women in America. So they want the island men. But is that why you think they might not deal with island men as much as they otherwise could?
They don't want to deal with island men because island men are gonna be. They're in control. They want control of their household. They want control of everything. And a woman, most, not all American black women, they're used to being in control of everything. So a lot of them don't want those types of relationships. They don't. Most of them.
And the difference between
they'll fuck you though.
They'll fuck
the shit out of you, but they not fucking you.
And that's the thing. See, they try to put them island men in that kind of like Negro buck category. But see, they don't stay in that category. You see what I'm saying? And see, that's the blowback that they don't want to deal with. And see, what I always say, and I'm sorry if anybody gets offended by this, but if you look at like African American men versus island men versus like African men, and obviously I'm kind of like really generalizing, but a lot of our women tend to see African men is kind of lacking the swag factor versus island men tend to have
That's not true.
Okay, so question: who you think has more swag, island men in general or African men in general?
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one.
The reason I deal with a lot of African men, a lot of them, and they can dress. They don't care like about.
All right.
Like
so why don't why in your opinion don't I'm talking about full African American women, so I'm talking about really third generation on, why do you think they don't date African men as much as they otherwise could?
Because African men are something just like a Jamaican man. They crazy and they don't want to deal with that. They want their women like this, like that, like no excuse. They're not trying to hear that.
So you saying that? So you're saying that in that factor, there's really no difference between So I got a question: do African men have the same reputation as being able to fuck like Jamaican men or like island men do?
No.
All right. So it's so in my opinion, from an African American woman's perspective, it's like you getting that benefit with a risk where you rolling the dice versus with African men, it's like you getting the complete lame package. I've heard like when I get, you may not say that because your personal experience with African men, and I know different African men. I can tell you there's a difference between Ghanaian men and Nigerian men, a different even amongst them. I get it, but I'm saying overall, as far as the perception, because I remember only 5% of Black people have passports, and most African American women are not going to Africa; they're going to Europe if they or the islands or something like that. They don't have exposure. But what I found is the overall perception is island men have the built, the swag. It's just they can be overly aggressive, and with African men they can have the intelligence, which can be associated with the lame part. But then they have the pay, so it's like patriarchy without no payoff. Versus with island men, you gonna get good dick, but you can always run away from that patriarchy. And then with African American men,
they are on. I don't want to be. I hate to say this, but African men and they are, when they come to America, they're coming to America for a reason, and they're set. They got that goal set, and they're gonna get that job done. I don't know too many Jamaican men that come to America and be like, okay, I want to start a business and I want to do this. I came to this country to do better.
How are you gonna say some shit like that?
I mean, Jamaican men tend to be better than most of the other island men on that. You see more Jamaican like restaurants and stuff than anything else.
Yeah,
but
I see that. Like, yeah, you're right about that statement. But I just see more African full blood, like Nigerians, Cameroon, wherever. They really come over here and.
Oh, that's true, but that's not you're not wrong by saying that. But I will say
majority of them African businesses is ranky dink as fuck. Like, let's keep it all the way real.
I'm about to give a caveat. What you got to understand is there's about 365,000 Nigerians in particular. Then if you count Somalis and stuff like that, but we talk about Nigerians, which are kind of like the gold standard, the way they trump people up in the media. It's only 365,000 of them. And really, Nigerians have a horrible reputation globally. It's just the ones that come here, the Igbos, the ones that are Christian, they're hypers. I get what you're saying. So in pockets, it'll look like that. And I get that. I'm not going to disagree with that. But what I will say also is the islanders tend to have a different, are not as goofy when it comes to white folks as like the Africans are. Because
we're not subservient.
Yeah, in fact, they're the most aggressive, in my opinion, even more so than African Americans in general, because, history.
I can tell this dude the other day, like he told this white guy, if I was born in America, I wouldn't be a customer service rep.
Bobby making it worse.
Say that again. What did he say?
Told this white man, he said, if I was born in America, I wouldn't be a customer service rep. I said, oh shit. Okay.
Well, yeah, because I would disagree with that. But what I would tell him is, if you was born here, then you would have got a lot more dose of this crack cocaine called American culture. The thing about African Americans versus Africans is Africans have the land and the resources, and their culture was never fucked with, because quite frankly, the white folks learned how to build cities to get the resources out, and they never had to fuck with their culture. See, in America, they had to do a whole bunch of crazy shit to us because we were all raised right here where the actual money was. So it's this constant game of how can we psychologically fuck these people up, because in the South, there was more blacks than whites at the time, back in the day. It was always about how to keep away the resources. This is why you have all these 5 eras of white supremacy. You got slavery, then civil, then Reconstruction, then you got Jim Crow, which is economic terrorism. You got massacre. Man, Africans have never had to deal with that because they've never had to deal with that. If they come here with the same kind of cultural fuck ups, we see Africans get fucked up after the second generation. They niggas. They niggas after the second generation. You see it.
They niggas after the first generation, they just they not.
You really right, but it's like completely they niggas after the second. After the second, it ain't no. So this is like poison culturally being here, and that's why I tell niggas they need to get the fuck out of this country. Like not out, but because if you want to expatriate, do that. But anyway, I don't want. Yeah, anyway, I've said enough. So.
You know what the point is for me?
I'm enjoying the conversation. I'm enjoying. Rain, what are you doing in this position as a woman?
What position?
some dirty dick nigga raw dog and some chicken in the suite that y'all ain't got on this cruise?
What type of question? Oh my god. Like what? My boyfriend? Like what is the scenario? Like
Yeah, this your husband. Your husband.
Oh, you saying husband? Okay. Husband, like, yeah, like, okay, first off, on a cruise, that's bold as fuck. I hate to say that, like, that's bold. Like, what I would do, that, I mean, raw, that's crazy. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Because nobody's perfect. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna keep it 100. Nobody's perfect. Nobody. I would be mad, of course, if we go home, like, have to talk. Of course, again, like me, we have to talk about some things and get an understanding because that made no fucking sense. If you were bold enough to do that and raw, like, what else have you been doing out in these streets? And of course, niggas be like, that was my first time. Like, oh, fuck out of here. But yeah, like we have to see. And we got kids. Like we got to see. Like, are we breaking up this home? Or is there a possibility we can work through this? I don't know. Then also, we're going to the clinic.
You working through a nigga fucking a chick on the cruise, raw?
We gotta see if we can work through this. Cause like I said, niggas ain't perfect. Nobody's perfect.
Listen, anybody out here looking, Rain is currently married, but hey, listen, she might be accepting niggas for a side nigga application. And apparently nobody's perfect. Okay, it is what it is. Mr. Esther, what exactly are you doing in this scenario? I don't know if you heard it or not.
Yeah.
But the scenario is you were out with your wife, your significant other, and you on a cruise. During this cruise, it's a 3-day cruise. On day 2, you come in the room and she's fucking another man. How do you respond? How do you react? Long-term, short-term? What are you doing immediately when this occurs? And what are you doing after the fact when the cruise is over?
I don't know. The initial reaction would be pretty ugly. Like you ain't just gonna walk into a room where your wife getting raw dogged by Dexter St. Jock and react positively. I just don't see that happening. So I would do. This is during the cruise. How long are we on this cruise? Like 5, 6, 7.
This is a 3-day cruise. This is a 3-day cruise. I'm talking about the first day was cool. Y'all went to St. Pete's or some local pub, and then the second day y'all out to sea. You go out and have you a couple drinks, and then you come back to the room and you see baby is getting in there praying to God. Oh, hey, praise Jesus.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll be praising the claim, just like Rain said. I mean, if she bold enough to do that, then ain't no telling what she been doing. Yeah. I don't know. The initial reaction, I just hope for the best. It's definitely over with. The second day on the cruise, that'll be the last day of us. So.
Yeah, you got to understand, if a woman is bold enough to do that, once they not hiding, there's degrees to hiding this shit. You know what I'm saying? When you doing that on a cruise, keep in mind, that's a dude you pretty much randomly probably just met. That means there is no, and then you talk about they married. I mean, it's so many things that has to happen for that to even really be possible. And when I say possible, I'm talking about just the bold factor of it. Because
I wonder if any of you men are looking at yourselves on why she did that.
No.
She's wrong. But are y'all actually looking into yourselves like
it doesn't matter
why she did that?
Oh my God!
That is moot at this point.
It must be something he wasn't doing.
No, you have to. Rain is right.
Thank you.
Rain is right. If you there's, like I tell women to get pregnant, there's about 5 levels decisions you got to make before you get pregnant. Fuck raw nigga, let that nigga go raw. Don't take the money pill. flipping it, it's the same thing with a dude. Like that's to me a scenario like that. What happen is if you deal with like a Cardi B type chick, and then you tell yourself you could turn a hoe into a housewife because you believe that yourself, and then like that ain't happening with no random chick that you marrying because. This is not the first time she's done something like that. If she's gonna do it on a boat, there's some stuff that's happened. Women are good at cheating. They not that good if they go be that bold because they real good at hiding it if they respect you or if they're afraid to lose something. And in today's environment, where if you got money, women can just blow up these damn relationships. Hell, they can take money from you in common law marriage now, depending on the state you in. It's just if they gonna be that bold about it, that's you didn't.
That's a real question.
You know what? I think y'all need to take in consideration that just because you found out she was getting some dick on the cruise, don't mean she don't know this nigga already.
That could be true too, and then that's a higher probability. But even
a lot of men need to do that. I feel like a lot of times men are so quick to be like, oh, I'm done with her. Yeah, moving on. Cool. There's nothing wrong with any of your opinions. But again, if a woman can boldly cheat on you like that, you gotta look into yourself. Like, what the fuck am I doing for her to feel like she can do this and not give zero fuck?
Well,
women don't do stuff according to what men are doing. They do stuff according to what they want to do.
Yeah,
women are always trying to push that narrative. Y'all do whatever y'all want because of who you are as a person. It has nothing to do with the guy you with.
And that's where that's where we probably disagree. No, I agree with what you're talking about, but this is where me and Rain would disagree because I agree with you, but for a different reason. The thing is, that dude selected. When I say selected wrong, there is no way a chick that's that scandalous. There is no way that you get all the way to marriage, especially in today's era. Even back in the stepdaddy era, dudes wouldn't be letting women live like that. So the point is, that dude is looking for his manhood in a woman's womb, and there was something in what he wanted that woman could detect and run game on. So that's where that dude's got to look at himself so he doesn't do that again. For instance, take a Russell Wilson, for example. Now, I'm not saying Ciara would do all of that, but the reality of the situation is if you look at the last 3, 4, 5 dudes that she was with, that clearly signals a certain pattern. And magically, when you get a contract and she turns 30, that's when she want to turn into a Christian all of a sudden. There is no such thing as born again pussy. Past matters. Your past is the best indicator of future behavior. Women do not change. Women do not change. Women adjust. Don't let them run game on you. The problem is you got some niggas that volunteer for the stepdaddy's army of America, the cleanup army, the cleanup corps, and then they want to get mad.
How is a stepdad a cleanup car? What? Okay, now we got problems.
Oh no. Hey yo, stepdaddy store is closed.
Hey, yo, let me say this right here. Let me say this right here. Like the whole situation is, if a person will do that, and it's not even to look into yourself, because my thing is, if she do it, she do it. Now, my thing, the question wasn't like, what did you do to make her do that? We just saying, listen, point blank, the dude was good. You thinking the relationship good. You ain't doing nothing. You ain't cheating. You ain't doing nothing. And you walk into your balcony or whatever room you got on this cruise, and it's going down. You know what I mean?
Russell Wilson. Wife cheated on him with, keep in mind, this quarterback cheated on him with another football player on the same damn team, and then he gets with Ciara. If you don't, my point is, it's not his fault, but if you don't look at the mirror and assess yourself, you will get played like that over and over and over again. And if dude just say, "Oh, I get what you're saying, and you're not wrong. This is not about absolving her." Let's say you throw her off the damn boat and she deserves that. You still gotta look in the mirror after the fact and be like, damn, because I might choose another bitch like this because I like stripper bitches. I need to stop believing in they fucking bullshit ass story. Because it takes a certain type of woman to be that bold. I ain't saying she ain't cheating, but to be that bold is a higher level of disrespect.
At that, usually when a woman's that bold when it comes to cheating, that means she's ready to move on to the different relationship.
And you just give it that, and that's it.
Yeah, most women, they're not gonna cheat in your face until they already been messing with the dude long enough, and they know that I'm picking this other guy to go be with. You know what I'm saying? Because most women don't leave a relationship and just be single for a while until they meet somebody new. They mess with multiple niggas at the same time. That's what women do. That's why it's hard to find a single black woman. I'm not saying other people don't do it, but I do notice that about our women.
I'll give you an example. If a woman is that bold, chances are she not fucking that.
Gonna have these kind of conversations with them, but tell them they need to set.
No. I'm saying a woman's gonna get that bold eventually, but usually it's not at the beginning of her cheating. She's been cheating for a while at that point, and she's already decided to replace this guy. So
and one of the you're right. One of the questions I would ask a dude, and I'm not interrogating the dude, but it's a question I wouldn't ask, but I'd say I would want to know, is when's the last time you had sex with her? Because the reality is, if a woman is that bold, chances are that dude ain't got nothing in a minute. And so the thing about it is, again, if it's a point like that, then that dude, it's like that dude wants that relationship more than a woman. And whenever you detect that you want a relationship more than a woman, and that's something a dude should always have to ask himself, that's when you're in kind of like, you in like to the simp zone right there. Because my thing is this. One of my favorite movies is Heat. I don't know if y'all seen that movie. It's with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. Van Kilmer got a lot of people in it. And the one thing that Robert De Niro said is he said that I never get into a relationship that I can't leave, within less than 30 seconds if the need be. This is how he's not been caught. Now I understand it in real life, there's other considerations. But my point is, you should always have that mentality in your head to a certain extent. And if you should never get so invested in a woman that you're blind to, especially when in the black community, because you have to understand with us, we're in a matriarchy. So the women are looking to format us like this as children, as little boys to think. This is why women always say your mama black, because she's trying to say I'm your mama. This is the mentality they have. And the reality
is not why women say that.
Yes, that
no,
is.
It's not.
Women,
that is not why.
They're not sure if you got a daddy. They're not sure if you got a daddy, so they go with your mom.
No, because just like niggas, women say that because from what I've seen, women say that because it's so much bashing of black women. It's like, do y'all bash your mom? Like do you say these things to your mother?
Do you realize that a lot of black men's mothers, including mine, can't fucking stand other black women? A lot. Do you realize that a lot of African American women can't stand each other?
When you see bi and what's it?
They code up. They code up.
T, are you talking? T, are you talking? Because I can't quite hear you. I hear a bunch of things.
Yeah, no, I'm here.
When he stopped being his old regular,
he might need to mute Trav. I think he's working.
Yeah, they code up for the vagina around dudes. When dudes are like, because they degenerating. But other than that,
so if women are saying that to men, like your mama black, then what is it when men say your daddy black to women?
When do you hear men really say that?
Come on now.
Men say it, but men say it in this funny comedic way. They're being facetious when they say it.
You know what? You guys have
okay, I gotta out. When you hear black men fight, if you say your mama, which one will activate a fight more in the black community? Between two men, your mama or your daddy. If you say your mama, that's pretty much automatic fighting. If you say your daddy, and you may get in somebody's face, but not necessarily you throwing fisticuffs necessarily. Like it's see, the problem is we can't make these false equivocations like everything's 50-50, so therefore nothing counts. The reality, certain things tilt more in our community than other things. And the truth is, you don't really see black men talking about yo daddy black to justify black female behavior. Because half the time, black women tell you right. And that's why I do what the fuck I do. Because my daddy wasn't there or whatever bullshit. That's and again, women either see men as their child or their leader. And because we're in a matriarchy, even a lot of black women and fucking dudes whose house is in the mama's name. How many times have you seen a black man in the passenger side and the woman driving a car? I've seen that more times than I care to admit. you know, and be the woman driving or the woman's at work. I mean, it's a clear dynamic. So yes, when they say your mama, that's what they really saying. They're saying I outrank you, even subconsciously. Even if they don't consciously think that's what they're saying, subconsciously that's what they mean, is I outrank you. So therefore, you should do what my emotions tell you to do. I don't have to justify myself to you because you a nigga. Now, you ask them with a non-black man, a white man, they ain't that bold. Not that bold because they know there's consequences of saying that shit.
I listen. I'm all for the shit. I'm a fan. And we having these conversations. These conversations need to be had. We winning today. Now, Rain ran away. I feel some type of way. Rain ran away.
She know what it is. She know it's true. You gotta understand. I mean, she's still, first generation African American, so she's dealing around a lot of African American women. So that damn, monologue is constantly in her ear, in her ear. I mean, she in Houston, so it's constantly in her ear as far as these bullshit ass excuses for why they in situations, all this plausible deniability and
calling you out.
No, I'm not calling her out in a bad way. I'm just saying it's hard when you hear one side of a story for so goddamn long, you're gonna believe it. This is why not like a lot of non-black women was believing that shit. And now they starting to turn on sisters too, because they getting tired of them bitching. A lot of them.
Let me address this because I wasn't running away. No, shut the fuck up because I'm really not in the mood. I wasn't running away.
Baited, nigga.
I just don't want to. I feel like when you have these little talks and I try to we're debating, y'all just debunk anything a woman says. Like,
not a debate, it's a conversation.
I'm not trying to hear that. The facetious bullshit. Like, black women do it, black men do it. God damn, the fuck? Let me say my statement without being belittled or what's the word I'm looking for?
I mean, Trav called me a faggot as soon as I got on here. So don't act like it's like all boys.
No, it's no. I'm not acting like that. It's because I'm on these shows. I had this discussion with Donnie the other day, and it's always black women bashing. Black women women.
I don't do that.
After a while, that shit's tiring. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to sit here and discuss this.
You didn't say nothing when I was tearing apart the other night, me and Trav. You was quiet.
No, wait a minute. You know why I didn't say anything? And everybody on this panel can vouch. I done tore into her ass plenty of times on these shows. So don't sit here and say, you wouldn't say, why am I going to keep repeating myself? You just wasn't around for that issue. Those issues, I'll say that. So don't speak on what you don't know. No, it's not that. Don't speak on what you don't know because you really tried it with that situation because I dragged the fuck out that bitch for weeks. So me not saying anything, there was a reason behind it. So don't do that.
What I'm saying is across the board, I'm allergic to BS. And when she activated
I am too, and I feel like that mama black bullshit was just some BS. Like, you don't know why people are saying that. And y'all are saying that to fit y'all narrative because y'all feel like it's some bullshit. And men say it too. And a lot of men say it just like the women are saying it.
Yeah, but again,
but of course y'all don't want to hear that because
but what a lot of people don't want to understand is people say, well, black men do it, black women do it. Let's just get over it. That's not how
I didn't say get over it. No, I didn't say get over it.
You said the fuck.
But we didn't acknowledge both sides do it. A lot of times y'all try to just black men do it, but let's push this on the rug. Black women ain't shit. Like, goddamn, like y'all. I'm not saying you in general. You're not understanding. You haven't been around. So I'm not speaking on you, sir.
I had this conversation. I was playing earlier, and I was like, ooh, because I know you was listening, and I knew you would come back for the conversation. But at the end of the day, you have to understand.
Actually, I wasn't listening. Somebody I was talking to was listening, and I didn't hear
point blank. You came back to the conversation, so it did.
Yeah, I came back because I don't want to be talked about after I left.
But let's have this conversation. I had this conversation with you personally on the phone. I said when we have these conversations, I give the worst of the worst scenario. Now you take it personal. So there's two things.
No, it's not me taking it personal.
I'm not done talking.
No, it's not me taking it personal.
I'm gonna let you talk. But just let me get this. You have to take the worst of the worst scenario. Don't take it personal. If you take it personal, it's either something because you feel like you were doing this, or you identify with the situation. But If it don't apply to you, let it fly. But this is the worst of the worst situation. Just like I said to you, if it was a nigga in the room fucking a chick raw, am I supposed to take that personal? Is any man on this panel taking it personal? No.
Nah.
Understand.
Wait a minute. No. But see, Donnie, that's the thing. This goes way beyond any of this. How long we been doing shows? Or how long I've been doing shows and I've been feeling like this? I'll wait.
How long have you been doing shows and what?
I said, how long have I been doing these shows and I've been feeling this way?
This is turned into court.
This is the conversation I had with you earlier. These are the worst on my particular show. I don't know about anybody else's show.
Exactly, it's more than one show. And I get what you're saying, like, and I get it. And we've been doing more shows than just your show, Edward's show, Roger's show. Like a lot of these shows, it's becoming toxic. I don't feel like hearing it.
Okay, so here's
what are we saying? This
hold on, because this is okay. At the end of the day, adults are accountable to their own outcomes. And the thing when it comes to this toxicity, when people start using toxic and all of that, I get from an emotional standpoint where you're coming from, but the reality of the situation is, like, for instance, take this thing about, well, we just turn into an all-black woman, do something, or all of this. At the end of the day, there's just certain things. It is what it is, no matter what the logic is. Like, if dudes are fucking up, it's just gonna be is what it is. Black men are black men dealt with more of the stepdaddy situation than any other group of men. I'll say it this way: do you think it feels good for me as a black man to say the African American community is a matriarchy? Do you think that feels good to say that? Do you think that's good for the ego? To actually understand that and realize that. However, as a guy that understands red pill information, stuff like that, that is an L I have to be willing to accept to hopefully correct that in the future. But see, if I allow myself to live in a delusion that that's not true, then the next generation is going to be in the same. So that's how we got here in the fucking first place. It's because the older generations of men just let this shit completely slide off the fucking rails. And that's not me trying to blame nobody, but nobody really checked this. This shit should have been checked in the 90s, to be honest with you. Because in the 90s, it was a complete one-way conversation where there was an actual niggas ain't shit economy, aka all the talk shows, aka all of the books that were sold. And then you had a couple of females like Shahrazad Ali, Dr. Frances Quest Welsing, Sister Soldier, they tried to speak for black men in our favor, but they got shut down. And now it's like when social media started to hit like Web 2.0, and then black men had an opinion, and I get based on your age, so we're the same age, but it's like now women have this thing about, well, it's all this toxicity. Black women have been serving as the character witness, the character assassination of black men for damn near 30 years now. And that stuff is documented, but nobody cared about that because that wasn't affecting women's emotions. So now that black men have an opinion, it's all of a sudden people want to frame it like it's lopsided. It's still not lopsided. Black men barely ever get to speak. You don't see black men really saying what they think.
I call bullshit on that because I see and I hear a lot of black men speak.
Okay, and so in mainstream media, give me an example in mainstream media.
Really mainstream? Really? I'm talking about regular everyday people. I see have channels. They build up blogs. They built shit from the ground up to speak, and it's the same rhetoric on every.
Oprah. Hold on, I'm gonna say this one last thing. Oprah alone has more influence than all that bullshit you just talked about.
Wait a minute. So me giving you black men who are building these different little channels, props, building from the ground up. So just
but I'm giving you understanding a scale. Okay. I'm giving you a scale. You're trying to say that it's not equal. It's still like what 10%.
I wasn't saying it for it to be equal at all.
But see, this is the ratio thing I'm talking about. It's like, you know, you don't see no black, you barely see any. I'm not saying this as far as I feel sorry, but I'm trying to help you understand. It's not the same
You don't need to help me understand anything, fam. I'm going off of what I'm experiencing, what I'm dealing with, and what I'm seeing from my two eyes.
Let me back it up here because
But I was about to tell you this, Donnie. Stop arguing with that damn girl before I choke you. My notifications are done.
Listen. Fuck with money, nigga. Listen, let's have this conversation.
But continue your show.
Hold on. I want you to understand. I don't want any black woman listening to this show feel like we're beating up on them. I'm doing this show to present a standard for black men. I'm doing this show to present a narrative for black men that you are not the bottom of the barrel, that you are not a piece of shit, that you are not an ain't shit nigga, that every black woman is out here personifying when they run through the media. No, you know what? No, I'm not going to say every black woman. I apologize. The general populace is doing, because when you look at articles from The Root, from Salon, from Blavity, they all paint black men as ain't shit people. When you look on social
media, any mainstream media,
black men aren't shit. So this show is to defeat that narrative. And not only that, I am not disparaging black women on this show on a constant basis. I am putting,
because I think we have enough Tommies and
but that's not what we're doing. We're putting black men in terrible situations. It's agreed upon before we even have the conversation that these are the worst situations possible. Nobody's saying this is ideal. Nobody's saying this is common. We're putting you in a situation that is not ideal and that is terrible so that you know how to deal with it, and you have several different points of view on how somebody else would deal with it. Nobody is in here saying black women ain't shit. This is how you just have to deal with them. Nobody is saying black women ain't shit. Go ahead.
This is why I love context. So when you compare African American men as a whole to like island men or African men, you know, black African American men, how can we be the most matriarchal but at the same time the most toxic? And you see, if you actually take a step back and actually think of what's being said, it's like, okay, you know, when you look at zones, what like African American women have the most freedom of any black women in the world compared to really any woman, I would argue, compared to their men in retrospect, talking particularly African American women. And the reality is this is called putting the ball in somebody's court, where it says now you need to prove to me you're not bashing. I tell sisters all the time, if you think I'm bashing you, then chances are I'm bashing you. What the fuck you gonna do about it? And I say it that way because I want to establish very clearly, yes, I have a logical reason why I can explain this stuff. And as you all can tell, I have no problem explaining that. But sometimes I gotta take a step back and say, you know what? It don't fucking matter. Because the reality is people gonna believe what they believe. And what black men have to learn, African American men in particular have to learn how to do is start to establish a posture of, they'll call it toxicity until all of a sudden it's not. Not because we've changed what we've done, but because they've accepted what the fuck we're saying and now they're ready to comply. That's the reality. Because all that is toxic, I feel bad. The reality of the situation is if other men said it, women wouldn't register it that same way because they're used to those other men.
You don't think there are toxic things being said about black women?
I think I'll say this.
No. I think a lot of I feel like a lot of men hate when someone speaks that something's toxic. What I noticed is that drives y'all insane. It does, and I don't
like insane. Why. I don't think so, because I can make a strong case that African American women have really paved the way for black boys in particular, but black men in general, to be murdered. They've basically been given. Because think about it this way: most of the time when black women are given a microphone to talk about black issues, it's usually for a specific purpose. And when I say that is, as long as you're talking about we're in our situation and woe is me because the black man has failed, then they're given a microphone. As soon as black women start talking about like, well, I'm a black woman and I deal with it more than like a white woman, then the microphone gets taken from them. Me Too was created by a black woman, and they're very good at muting black women when they start trying to get resources outside of their own gender. So when they start saying, well, as a black woman, I go through it more than a black woman to this woman, they say, okay, yeah, you shut the fuck up now. You didn't said the story you need to say. See, black women keep constantly falling for this trick bag when it comes to white women. They've done it today. My point is you cannot even calculate like the level of it's toxicity because I don't like what you're saying. Man, black women can say the most horrible shit about black men, and it ain't even registered on the Richter scale.
I'm just gonna say this: they don't even give black women a certain amount of money for their own. For black women alone, they give y'all a little bit just to come and help y'all out, just to say that they was there. But besides that, they don't really go in hard for y'all. Especially when it's a white man, they nowhere to be found. Wait, huh? What? Huh?
Yeah, and I mean, and it's just, and the thing is, when people talk about the toxicity of Tommy Sotomayor, because that's black women always want to bring up Tommy Sotomayor, and stuff like that. Yeah, but Tommy wasn't raised
I
around.
feel like, then I would stop. Donnie, do your show. Take your show back over and go back on topic.
I don't represent. I've said it.
I feel like this would be better for another time.
So listen, I never want to be in a category.
I want to get back. I got to get back to my what I was doing. But continue.
Category with Tommy Sotomayor. The reason I never want to be in a category with Tommy Sotomayor is because regardless of what he was saying, because I felt like some stuff he said was valid here and there. But I met this dude in a grocery store outside of Phoenix, Arizona, in a town called Scottsdale. This motherfucker was in the grocery store. I seen him. I said he looked familiar. I went to the corner. This nigga was gone. I went to the next corner. He was gone. I sped up to just catch him on the corner, and this nigga was booking his ass out the motherfucking building. Now, if you are an individual who is saying what you believe in, why are you running when somebody notices you, especially another black man? So I mean, I couldn't agree with what he said.
If you understand, but even like if you look at somebody like Minister Jab, because Minister Jab goes a lot harder technically than Tommy, really, and he's from Chicago, so I know he's seen it. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck about anybody's feelings. 1 + 1 is 2, regardless of the feelings. Like if black women want to say something about black men, if it's true, I'll be the first person to say that shit is true, and it's something that needs to change. But the reality is with black women, they want to talk about toxicity. Black women are in a situation where black men are really going to check the fuck out completely. And I'm going to tell you, I call it musical chairs. And once that shit happens, there is no putting it back. It's over. You can, this is why I keep saying that 60% of the black community is already dead. People don't know it because it's going to be over there. And that's a reality that when that happens, or if that happens, that is a fate worse than hell. So all this toxicity and stuff that women project, that shit is going to be absolutely real because it's not going to be really black men. This is why black women always talk about what's your protection. You already seen it. Like, look at what happened to that little girl. Now granted, with that white man, look at what's starting to happen where these Asians are starting to beat black women's asses, but they still go to the store. Dudes are really saying how they feel, and they saying, I don't want to listen to you, so I'm going to call that toxic. I'm not saying what you're doing. I'm saying in general, because you already got your husband, so you're good. I'm talking about the women that really want to make excuses. And this is not about me bad. I didn't make this damn topic, and I've agreed with women when it's time to agree with. But I tend to not really focus my compass on how women feel, because me trying to not be that guy, it's like, women, if a woman is about some common sense, I got enough black women around me. I've seen the black women on my show. If you go to my channel, you can tell the black women ain't got common sense from the ones that's just on that toxicity bullshit. It's obvious. And I'm not talking about you because you got your husband. And it's been on the record. You talk about, it's a matriarchy. But I'll say this. A lot of times what you have is what I call enablers. You have black women, they don't do the fuck shit, but they sympathize with women to do the fuck shit. So they say, well, black men, it's all on social media. I'm always seeing this shit. Oh my God, they all hate me, whatever. And I'm like, okay. I mean, okay, whatever. I mean, but I don't black explain for no female. I really don't. Because
but I mean, it's some women. It's women out here that are good, that do still love and defend their black women, and not black women, black men, and that's what they do.
My theory is one about 20% of black women have what I call acceptable range of not having to fuck shit, and then the rest of the 80% there's varying degrees of fuck shit. That's my theory. So 1 in 5.
Man, I feel like black men need to just like straight up stop bitching about shit we cannot control. These bitches gonna do whatever they want to do. If you got you some power, if you got you some money, they're gonna listen to you. And if you don't, they're not gonna listen to you. Bitching and moaning about them, complaining about toxicity and all of this, because you gotta look at it like this. Like, boom, they'll talk all the shit about the toxic shit we do, but you don't see nobody leaving the church. You dig what I'm saying? They'll talk all the toxic shit about what black men do, but they'll listen to whoever. And majority of the world doing a gang of wicked shit, and they're gonna just let it slide because everybody else got the bag and they control the narrative in their communities. We don't, so they're gonna talk shit about us. It's how it is. We either could come up with some solutions, or we could argue with these little stupid bitches and waste time. Like,
oh my God,
I'm not with it.
Stop using that word.
What you know what though? The thing is, women are not used to hearing people call them out for their mess, because when it comes to the media, when it comes to major media, you know what I'm saying? Black men didn't have a major media. To do anything in major media, you have to go through the filter.
Hold on. I have a serious question. I feel like sometimes we do get into the conversation of what is wrong, but let me ask you this, Rain. What do you think that we can do as a community, as a whole, for this scenario? Because they're saying it's black women and they're doing this, that, and the third. You feel like it's something else. What do you feel like as a solution?
I feel like I want to hang up and get back to my conversation. You niggas is taking this deeper than what I wanted to do.
Okay, but what do you feel like is the solution to what they're saying is? And we'll get off of it. But I just want to know what you feel as a woman, because you're the only woman on the panel. Daphne's not here. You know, Daphne be loud as fuck. But I want to know what you feel like is a solution to this problem. No solution?
No. Hold on.
You good? You got to pick the babies up?
No.
You just died
Saved by the husband. He just got home from the movie. I will catch y'all in a minute.
Okay. Well,
okay.
So,
as I was about to say then.
All right. So back to why black women ain't shit. All right.
Okay. Now, what I was about to say is she's just having a reaction. She's having a reaction to the fact that major media is controlled by white folks. And in order for a black man to go on major media and say anything, he has to go through the filter of white men or white women, if they're involved, and the filter of black women, because the white men understand that black women are consumer based, so they don't allow you to say things that hurt their feelings because they want their product sold. And the only issue black women are having is now because of social media, where black men can actually say what they want to say, and they don't have to go through the filter of a white man at all times to say something. Now they're hearing the truth about themselves. We as men are not bashing women. Because I actually looked at the definition of bashing, and it said when you start making prejudiced comments about a group of people, we're not bashing them. Black men know who they actually are. And the only reason it's an issue is because black women are so concerned with how white men view them. And when black men start talking about how we see them, they're afraid that for some reason they think white men don't already know the messed up stuff about them that we see.
Yeah, that's
so the
funny.
fact that we're putting it in public. Yeah, so the fact that we make it public, because a lot of black men are tired of them attacking us for silly stuff. They figure, oh, the white man didn't know all this information already. We got to stop them from saying that, so the white man won't figure out we so bad. That's all it is. It's a bunch of nonsense.
Hey, y'all have spoken. I just want to ask somebody who hasn't really said anything in a minute. Not Trav. Torian, where do you stand on this conversation? I know you can listen. You got the input.
As far as what though?
Everything that's been talked about.
Man, like the dude said, man, stop tripping over shit you can't control and worry about the shit that you can control. That's it.
Hey, I'll put it like this, y'all. Can you hear me?
Yep, Kev, we can hear you.
I mean, why is it always the framing like we argue with them? Maybe they're arguing with us. Like, sometimes you have to defend from the fuck shit said about you. For real. Like, it ain't like I don't have a few minutes to clear the air. I understand the going back and forth and then, trying to say petty shit and make petty posts. But at the same time, I'm not going to let a bitch run me over, just like I don't let a dude run me over, period. In fact, I'm worse than guys. It may not be seen that way.
Yo, but check this out, my dude. But I mean, this not even against what you said. This is just what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
if a male or a female say "fuck you," you don't gotta waste your energy and say "fuck you" too. You know what I mean? Like, it's a difference though. Now, if it's a male or a female, you know.
That's not what she's talking about, though, bro. She's not talking about that.
Yeah, but go ahead.
No, I'm gonna say real quick. What she's talking about is the fact that black women now have to actually see what's being said about them in a negative way, because niggas ain't out here just arguing with them. But people are making real points about the black community. No, I'm saying real quick. People are making real points about the black community and how to improve it, and a lot of the negative behavior that they have done is being highlighted because it needs to be highlighted in order to be corrected to improve the black community, and they just simply don't like that being said.
So there's a combination of things. If you want to look at her personally, from my assessment, what it is it's kind of like a temperature gauge, and it's like, and it reaches a threshold of like shock value. And what happens is women African American women, regardless of what generation, when they get in this country, it's a certain amount of expectation. And when you're bombarded with that, it's like this shock value. So it doesn't become about the ratios of like 80-20 or 50-50. It's just about, I don't approve of what's being said, and then how she communicates that, Now, as far as the other stuff you talk about overall, some of that is with what y'all said as far as what the white man is. That's what the bed wenches kind of are on. But really what it is this thing, because here's the truth. And here's the truth. If I wanted to ask her, really ask her, most men, like, if you internationally, they talk, like, if you ever hear like Israeli men talk about their women, or a lot of dudes be saying, you think black men are bad. They may not get on social media and do it, but they say like god awful shit about their women. Like, and they say it, let it roll off their tongue. Like, yeah, man, this Israeli bitch is a cunt. Da da da. Like, I can't stand it. And
Here's where we're going. We're really deviating, and I never want my show to feel like it's a black woman bashing segment, because and I'm not saying that's what's being done. However, there's really no black woman on the panel to defend themselves, and there's just a Rain. So there's a Rain, and there's a singular person. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a specific show where we can just air out the grievances.
I mean, and the air out. That's just. I mean, you could do the show. It'll be entertaining, and I'm not gonna tell you what to do. But at the end of the day, that shit is gonna be our logic, but versus their emotionalism. That's what these shows always. That's really what you should call it.
Let it be that. We'll let it be that. But at this point, this is what I want the show to be. This is what I want my show in particular to be. I want my show to be a medium to where black men can talk, and we can speak, and we can help other black men who are trying to do better. Now, every scenario I posted tonight, or I had a conversation about tonight with all of you, was based on the worst case scenario. Now, it wasn't saying this was a generic scenario where it just happens all the time. This wasn't a scenario where it's a constant issue. This is a scenario where this is the worst case scenario. So I want it to be understood that on this platform, on this show, is we having a conversation, and I get it. I understand. You got to speak the whole truth and nothing but the truth from your perspective. But we're gonna stick to what is being said. Now, as far as the black male, black female, all I want to promote on this show is if you are dealing with a woman who is of that mindset, who is of that mentality, then you don't have to deal with her. You can walk away and leave her ass out high and dry. Just like these chicks who are out here talking about black men are defeated, black men ain't shit. Leave her the fuck alone, walk around, move around. You ain't got to talk to her, you got to deal with her. But on tonight's show, we talking about the worst case scenario. On another show, we're going to deal with, hey, you said this, I want to respond, I want to defeat it, I want to have that conversation.
Yeah, well, what does that say about, I got a question for you, though. When you ask a question that you are married, and chances are that that's a black woman you're married to, and you in a situation like that, what does that say about a community if that's what you chose to marry?
So it's not reflective of the community because, like I said, I prefaced it with this is a worst case scenario, and I want to know how men are dealing with it in the worst case scenario. I'm preparing you for the worst. You might walk outside and fall and hit your head because you have bad coordination. I'm not saying everybody has bad coordination, but I'm trying to teach you how to deal with bad coordination. You understand?
Yeah, no, I absolutely understand, and I also understand that I'll give you a perfect example, just to flip it on dudes. Yeah, I got one. Oh, I got one to flip it on dudes. Now you'll be able to identify with this. So one of the most fuck shit conversations that I have, and this actually turns me against like a lot of people I fuck with a lot of times, is when I talk about traveling. You got a lot of dudes that come up with some of the most bullshit scenarios as far as why black men shouldn't travel. You need to take care of home first. You need to get your shit together first. And it be the same shit where a lot of these dudes are getting like, and I'm not even talking about Rain, because I get it with that. I'm not even talking about her. I'm just talking about like in general, they will get emotional. And then when you ask them, it's like they don't fucking know what the fuck they're talking about. And it's like, and these are dudes. I'll give you another example. If you start going after the black church, then see me, I'm a Christian, but I will make no mistake, from an operational standpoint, I could write a book on what the fuck is wrong with the black church from an operational standpoint. The black church single-handedly sucks out more money in the black community, probably than any single entity that black people really have, right?
Yeah.
But I've never seen men go from a objective mindset to a subjective mindset faster than if you start talking about the church. Shit, talk about Africans, about white Jesus. They want to kill your ass. And I'm like, this motherfucker is the main motherfucker that took your shit. You can't talk about white Jesus like that.
Believe me, I'm dealing with that now. So yeah.
Yeah. So and I'm like, so you can't. Okay, here's the thing. You can have Jesus. I'm not telling you not to have Jesus. I'm a Christian too. But goddamn, you can't like make that motherfucker tan. You got to make him like whiter than white. Yes, because he can. And it's like the fucking IQ points are lowering. I see him going down, and it's like I'm talking about men now. Fuck the women for a second. I'm talking about men, and you know what? I'm not even talking about Africans. Shit, African Americans do it now. We ain't as bad as Africans. Like I thought black people was bad. Oh my God. You think any dudes that's on the black nationalism stuff, which I get it. I'm kind of on that side on a lot of stuff or stuff like that. They want to talk shit about African Americans. They find it hard to work with them. I'm like, yo, go talk to Africans about religion for 30 minutes. And you'll come back and say, you know what? I might be able to work with these African American niggas in the church. But that shit, there is no saving that shit.
So let me do this.
Sorry about that.
No, I appreciate it. This conversation. We have to cook out. We at the table. We having these conversations. Rain felt certain type of way, so she got it from the table. And Rain wasn't wrong because the conversation did take a tone that maybe she didn't want it to take. And
she took the damn jerk chicken.
Rain can cook it up, but this is what I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna balance it out with this, and then I'm gonna give you everybody the final word. But I'm gonna give one final situation because I want to balance it out. So I have a friend. This is a friend of mine. I outgrew him. He's still cool with me. I still, talk to him every once in a while, but I outgrew him. Long term, just wasn't for me. He was 33. I was 20. No, he was 31. I was 25. I took him to Vegas. Nope. I'm not even gonna tell this. I'm gonna tell another one. So. This particular friend, same friend, we're gonna call him Gary. We're gonna call him Gary. So Gary don't date black women. Gary works at call centers. Gary has a daughter. He's taking care of his daughter. Gary works at call center making $10 an hour. He feels like he's gonna be a rapper and the neighborhood dope man, but he's the $300 re-up nigga. He got $300 worth of weed, and he gonna re-up after that, and he gonna keep running. Now he feel like he running his apartment complex. Gary don't have no job. Gary always got the red monkey jeans, the new Jordans, the flat screen TV. Gary can't pay his rent. Gary gets with a white woman. He's dating a white woman. She's attractive. I'm gonna give it to her, but she's the hood white woman. She's the niggas. I'm like, oh, this your chick. You gonna check her? Man, no, she cool. She got a black kids. Nah, nigga, she can't say that shit around me. Gary is fucking with this chick. She got a little pudge to her, just like Friday when he said, "Oh yeah, I thought that was from the 40." I see them. She 8 months pregnant. I say, "Bro, is that your baby?" Well, nah, nigga, is that your baby? No, nigga, is that your baby? Well, yeah. Appreciate it. Yeah. So Gary get with the chick. She's a ratchet white chick. She's pregnant with his baby. And nobody would be in this situation. I'm not saying anybody on this panel would be in this situation. But Gary's with the white chick. She has the baby. He accepts the baby. Now, the baby come. He got something to do, so he shoot off and run back. In that time frame, the baby daddy comes up there, signs the birth certificate, kisses her. They post the photos on Facebook. And she's living with him. Meanwhile, he's taking care of her for the whole 9 months. How do you respond? How do you tell your friend, your family member who's in that position to respond? What do you do?
You can tell they already messed up.
Yeah, they already messed up. But I just want to know, what would you tell them?
I mean,
you's a fool. Why don't you pull out that situation before you end up getting stuck? That's the next thing. You get her pregnant, now you stuck yourself.
Dude,
now, I can tell you what happened after the fact, but go ahead.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I got cousins that they done did a quarter of that shit that I done disowned. Like my family don't play that shit. Like you start to turn into an alcoholic, if you a female, you start to with our women, if you start to try to pull credit card fraud against other family members, if you start to because that's happened, if you start to go too deep into alcoholism, or if you start doing some fuck shit like that and that's happened, oh yeah, you get excommunicated from the church, man. So yeah, we would have got in his ear a few times, but after that, nah. Because dudes like that, when they start making decisions like that, it's like, okay, you come back when you done got your shit together and you done repented from that bullshit for real. Because I always, I look at dudes that date like ratchet white women, I look at as suspect anyway. Because,
Well, it did sound like he was a loser. So the fact that she was white, you know what I'm saying? He still was dating a loser because he was a loser himself.
And what's cold about it is he a cool ass person. He take care of his daughter any way he can, and he even take care of his baby mama's second kid. The baby mama was foul. She was a Hawaiian chick. This is the foulest shit I ever heard. She was fucking his best friend and got pregnant. And he take care of the baby like it was his own.
Now she his best friend baby.
Take care of the baby like it was his motherfucking own. And then as soon as she found another dude who's willing to pick up the slack, she excommunicated him from the little boy. Now he only taking care of his daughter. I'm like, yo, nigga, bitch, you foul. Well, he didn't have to do that. He didn't have to do that.
Yo, I got a question for y'all. If a dude was tricking in like the Dominican Republic, and he knew he could go get his dick wet with a chick that's like an 8 and up, for like an 8 or a 7 for like $150. Do you think niggas that do that make those same dumbass decisions? I'm not saying they don't do stupid shit over there because you out of your environment, but a lot of times I find that shit like that is because they not getting none enough, and then that starts fucking up their head. Just like when you get hungry, if you hungry enough, you'll eat shit you'll never eat normally. Like me, I hate tuna. But if I ain't ate in 4 days and it's eat tuna and die, I will eat it. And make no mistake, I hate fucking tuna. That's how it is hard with Like that's how it is. And the first thing men have to understand is just like how you need air. This is how I rank it. Obviously, if you take less air, you're gonna die within minutes. If you don't eat, if you take less water, that's 3 days. Food, you can go about a week. And then pussy is like the 4th thing you need. And it drives a man crazy. And dudes be walking around this world not believing that and then wondering, why do you think that fat bitch looks good? And other dudes are looking at you like, what the fuck are you fucking? They're like, yeah, man, more cushion for the pushing. Man, you gay because you won't fuck anything. And niggas will really argue. Don't let me shut the fuck up.
What I'm gonna say is I've been to the DR. You ain't got to pay $150. You paying $150, you might have 3 bitches. And I don't pay for some bitches, but I'm just saying, it's like Dominican Republic bitches.
Oh, I know
some extra shit. Rain, so I'm trying to balance out the conversation because I don't want it to feel like this is a bash black woman show. I want it to be understood that we're coming from the dynamic of men, and we feel like we've been stereotyped in the media and everything else, and I want to counter our position. So sometimes that come off a little strong.
I do want to say this because I noticed I'm not gonna call out who or what. Y'all were all were saying black women, and I know majority of y'all on this panel date outside of your race. Y'all don't date just one race. Y'all date other races. So y'all should be speaking women in general because it's a lot of black men that do date.
Well, no. Let me stop you there because it's not a majority because it's going to be me, which I don't do anymore because I have a girl, and it's going to be Edward. And Edward don't see no color when as far as he dates. Yeah. Nobody specifically
are you fucking serious? I want to know where on the record that it was ever said that I don't that I quote unquote date outside of my race, which is the charge.
Did I say you?
No, I'm responding to Donnie. So it's not
you said on a previous show, maybe it was your show or my show, but you said that you don't really look at race as far as what you date. You date whoever's cool. So I didn't say that you specifically date out the race.
I'll straighten it out. No, you're right. I get what you're saying. So let me clarify myself because it ain't that you heard wrong. Let me clarify because that's a communication issue on my end. Okay. I separate courting a woman and dating a woman. I mean, and fucking a woman. I separate those two things. If I court a woman, I'm looking at her for potential marriage. That's only black women because I'm having black kids. As far as who I put my dick into, that can be any woman in the color of the rainbow because I separate that. Now, with that being said, I have been rejected by enough dark-skinned women because that's actually my preference that motherfuckers can't tag me with that bullshit. I dated, so I'm not even talking about you, Rain. I'm just putting that out there for the record in general. So I'm not one of these dudes that like, and I'll
just sit here and assume that the viewers are not dating other races either.
And I also said that the first thing with that dude with the scenario that you didn't hear that he gave was, I'm like, so first of all, I view this dude with suspicion because he fucking a ratchet white bitch in general. And so I get it, but this again, when I hear Tommy, then I hear, people date outside or these are like flags. It's kind of like, well, these niggas ain't. To me personally, if I stop dealing with black women, I'm just gonna get ghosted. It just ain't gonna be no point because the reality that's not in my reality anymore. That's just me.
Can I say something? I'm talking. Can I say something?
Sure.
Yeah. Because dudes like Tommy exist and those narratives exist because these guys feel like black women don't respect them. Now, if you feel like black women don't respect you, it is probably gonna be halfway on you. That's how women treat you is a reflection of how you are as a person. So, not to say that they are not disrespectful at times. It's just that, we got to take into account what we do also as well. So I'll just say that to be fair. Now, I don't know where the most men on this panel would get outside their race because, I know Roger doesn't date outside his race. I'm married. Does date outside his race, but he's not.
I've heard people on the panel say they don't mind dating outside their race.
Okay, but see, these are little. Here's the thing.
You're taking what I'm saying and you're good about to make it into.
No.
What I'm saying is, can we make it about women in general?
Let's be see, but see,
no,
there is
no about women in general.
Yeah, because there's no logic. There's no logic to that stuff. Like again, regardless, why is there? But see, you're creating what I call a fake straw man argument and trying to argue with that. Okay, because
we're doing it again.
Yeah,
you're right.
I'm just stating. No, I'm stating because one, I've heard many of you on his panel say, "Oh, I don't have a problem dating another other race of women if I like them, if I love them, or whatever." Let's not act like that conversation was had.
I'm saying I only date black women, so those are the ones I care about. So discussing other races of women don't really make it much because if other races of women wouldn't jumped off the cliff, I'm not gonna be sweating that. Now, if our women wouldn't jumped off the cliff, I'd be like, man, that's a problem.
Are hilarious. Okay, whatever. Run it how y'all want to. This is y'all.
No, I'm just saying this. No, I'm telling you the straight up real. What if
I feel this is? I've had a discussion
I'm not.
with somebody
Look,
about this.
I don't have no hate toward any particular people.
Okay, I'm gonna call it out.
We all got to get along in the world.
I'm gonna call it out. Roger, Donnie, you got a girlfriend now, so yeah, but you have dated other races of women. Roger, it was you that said if you would date other races of women if you like them or whatever. Yeah, I get you said you now black women.
No. I didn't say I would date them if I liked them. What I said was if I wanted another race of woman, I could have them easily. I could easily find what I'm looking for if I date another race of woman.
Let me be absolutely clear. This is the cocktail. See, now you starting to fall.
Edward, I'm trying to be super respectful of you because I kind of like some of your things, but I feel like you're pushing it. So I'm gonna call it out because I've already talked to Donnie. I said, "Say, fam, if I keep feeling a certain way, shit's gonna pop off."
Okay, so we've had. I'll even go this way.
You know, Edward, hold on, because I don't like my name out here being disparaged. I've already been made a decision a long time ago that I will only marry a black woman. Period. Only.
So I just want to clarify, and I've heard that, and I'm not trying to come to no other man's defense. In this broadcast, I've heard Roger say on a few occasions he's only interested in dating black women.
You know what?
I don't even recommend interracial.
Roger, I got you. I'm about to fall on this sword and be the nigga that likes to hop the fence. I'm gonna be the hop the fence nigga right now. So here's the deal. I don't have to. And I believe in my lineage. I could fuck 109 black women, and the reality of the situation is, if I end up having a kid with a black woman, which I will, because I don't say that because I give a damn about what black women think. I say that because that's important to me for my lineage. And the irony is, if black men was actually raised that way, then black women will automatically win in general because dudes will come to that conclusion themselves rather than it becomes this measuring test. The thing about it is, it's not equivalent. And I'm saying this in general. This has nothing to do with what you said. You have black women that will have have mixed kids and then be throwaways. They're here because they were thrown away out of white society, and then want to talk about Afrocentrism, and then it becomes, look, you're talking about black women, but you all want to fuck because the majority of dudes in the manosphere actually fuck only black women. I've asked dudes that talk a lot of shit about black women, why don't you just hop the fence and then be done with it? And they've literally said, because I don't want to. That's happened more than once.
I was saying and turned it into something else. What I was saying is, y'all don't know what type of people that are listening. What type of men are y'all gonna just keep it this way? What if you have listeners that are dating other races of women and having issues?
I mean, that's their problem. They got to figure out.
That's what I was getting at. Y'all were about to just
so let me say that because this is my channel, and I'm an individual who believes in dating whoever the fuck you want to date. Now, you have to take in consideration of what your child is going to go through in case you pass away or some shit happen to where you can't really be in your child's life. You have to know that your child is going to be in their African lineage, or they're going to understand that they are a black person and not be treated a certain type of way. So you have to always take that into consideration. Now, do I feel like I should always be with a black woman? Yeah. I try and go out of my way to be with a black woman. But do I understand that there might be a woman that's going to come along and have everything I want, a woman that might be necessarily white or Latino or something else? Yeah, sure. But I always try to give preference to a black woman off tops.
Okay, so dating.
My child is going to be black.
So dating. Where does dating? See, here's the thing. This is where things start to get subjective. There's a difference between who you fucking And I'm not gonna act like who you fucking ain't an indicator. So let me not be disingenuous and say it has nothing to do with most dudes out here who they fucking is an indicator as to who they generally gonna end up with. But let's not act like who you quote unquote dating, because people ain't dating like that no more. Let's be clear here. And who you having kids with. Like, see, what happens is people try to equate all of this like it means something. Like, the reality is black men marry black women 86% rate. And I'm not going to name all the statistics that will really prove that shit is actually amazing if you really look at the statistics. And then as far as I'm concerned with what Donnie was saying, as far as the audience, I'm going to tell the audience, as a black man, my first job to tell all black men is this. Your objective is to increase your sexual supply to as much as you can. That's regardless of what race of women you have sexual access to. That's regardless of what culture of women you have sexual access to. But then to also pay attention to your long-term legacy. And then that's where you start, okay, keep it black, which black can mean a whole range of shit. Because keep it real, I've had black women tell me, because I date Jamaican women, that I'm fucking dating white women dipped in chocolate, or you don't like women with West African features, which is funny. Because I'm like, how the fuck you gonna say that when I've dated a Jamaican woman? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, there's better examples than that, but whatever. So to African American women, if you date anybody other than African American women, including first gen women, that's like a betrayal. So that can mean a lot of different things. But my point is, at the end of the day, your greatest power as a man is going to be, just like in the stock market, your ability to diversify. Now, women are going to be automatically threatened by that. But I also would say, think about your legacy. And the problem with niggas a lot of times is niggas look through their manhood through a woman's womb. So they start falling into that Negro buck mode and babies start popping out. But let's stop acting like the majority of black men are having mixed kids. Black men were having mixed kids. I mean, you look at the average nigga at the child support court, that is not by, that's a black woman. So clearly that's an indicator too, as far as what kids are being born. So this kind of myth of niggas are just running away from the community. I mean, you in Texas, you ain't in California. I understand why women in California would say that shit. That's swirl world. That's swirl world up and down the West Coast. It ain't going down like that in Texas.
Really took it. Again, you did what I... Do y'all see what I'm talking about?
Look, no. You brought this up and you was accusing me.
What is your point,
I brought it up.
What is your point?
I mean, I'm trying to stop it ago.
I don't like these accusations. I don't like these accusations.
I'm cool, because it's just gonna go right back around.
But okay. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna give the final word at this point, because we've given the conversation out to everybody, and everybody's had their piece. I get that, we missed out on a couple people in this last question, but we're gonna give the final word. So what I'm gonna give you, Rain, so that you have the final word, and you can say whatever you want to say, because I feel like black women are underrepresented on the panel tonight on this conversation. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give it to you, Edward, and then you say, and then we're gonna go all down the line. Okay? So Edward, it's on you. Go ahead and give your final word, your final thoughts on the subject as a total, and then we can go from there.
All right, I'll reiterate what I said. One of the reasons why I talk about intercultural dating is because I truly believe that the problem with African-American men in particular is African-American men have a lack of exposure to feminine black women. And this matriarchy pretty much creates a lot of their preconceived notions. If African-American men had exposure to other women, then they wouldn't have the same propensity to hop the fence. I know that, I believe that, and I've seen that. So I typically talk on my channel a lot about intercultural dating when it comes to this topic. With that being said, as somebody that supports IGMOR does state you are not to have non-black children. However, it is acceptable for you to fuck women of other races. Now, me personally, if white people just disappeared tomorrow, I quite frankly wouldn't give a fuck. If black women were the only women that I could fuck, I quite frankly wouldn't give a fuck, because I don't have this need to fuck other women. Most black men don't. But the reality is, in America, we have an issue with our women having a serious contempt issue. And remember what I said, about 80% of them have that to varying degrees. So and with that being said, another thing I'm going to say that's going to be extremely controversial, don't give a shit, is this question of, can you be pro-black and sleep white? The answer is yes, you can. Because pro-black means, in America, by Huey P. Newton, it means that you economically invest with black people. Now, granted, there is a genetic element, but Black people always try to make that like 90% of the conversation because they don't want to talk about the money conversation. So, with all that being said, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Okay, cool. So I'm glad, I really wanted a conversation on the subject as a whole, but you really wasn't here for that. So I'm gonna let that rock. We're gonna go with Black Men Being Brutally Honest. Kev, habitual line stepper. As the conversation as a whole, with the subject matter, how do you feel, and what are your final words and your final statement on it?
I would say it was a good conversation, but what has a tendency to happen is we get into straw man, and the straw man becomes tangent, and then it just does that. But overall, we have a good dynamic going. I just wish the whole war thing wasn't so prevalent in each one of these conversations. But it's like I like the narrative that makes Black people complicit of what's happening in our community, basically. So if it's gonna hurt some feelings, it's gonna hurt some feelings sometimes. But I'm not gonna be long. Everybody tune in this Sunday. Everybody who's on the panel tonight is invited. We're gonna give our true opinion, fact, how we feel about the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. This conversation will be about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So if you come to the panel, be prepared. It's in commemoration of Martin Luther King weekend. I do not expect everyone to be pro Martin Luther King. So I do that. And for those out there that listen to this broadcast, please subscribe to this channel, You Ain't Shit for Watching, the Roger Report, and my channel, Black Men Being Brutally Honest. And check out the other forms of media that are on this panel tonight as well. I mean, I apologize for not knowing Edward Anderson. He has a channel as well. So that's pretty much everything I have to say. Check out Reigns World 24.
Okay, much appreciated. Much appreciated. Tori, how do you feel on the subject as a whole? The 7 levels of disrespect, dealing with them Black men, Black women, and dealing with these scenarios. I'm back. And my whole family. Dorian, you there? Okay, Dorian is apparently not. He ain't paying attention at this point. Ed, what is your channel one more time, just so we have it clear, and then I'm gonna give Rain her final statement.
Just Google Edward Anderson. It's Edward. Oh my bad. Just Google Edward Anderson. It's Edward Anderson. I'll have a link soon. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Next time I'm on here.
Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Now, Rain, I know you feel a certain type of way. Please go ahead and say what's on your mind, and also represent your channel, everything you do, because I want Black women to have a voice on this channel. I don't want you to feel like it's a dynamic of fuck that black bitch, shit. No, I want everybody to have a conversation on the channel, because that's what it is.
No, so I get it. Oh, real quick, Edward, I subscribe to your channel, even though sometimes I don't agree with you. But good here. We're good. Because you do have a lot of good points. As far as Nicole came in. What was I gonna say? Well, I'm gonna just say this. As far as the topic at hand, I think that was a great topic. Wish it could have finished out, but shit happens. My bad. And I would say, as far as that goes, fellas, just be careful in your relationships. Like, make sure you have everything like that you need to go forward in them, and stop dealing with crazy people. We need not crazy people, crazy women, because I know that narrative is put that crazy girls have the best pussy and crazy girls this and that. That shit needs to get thrown out the window. I'm so sick of seeing that. As far as what was going on, I will say this. I get it. Black women, we do have things that we've done and whatnot. I agree with majority of the stuff you guys say. Actually, a lot of it, but I just feel like it's a constant attack. Like, we hear, like, we don't. said, like just a constant attack that I just feel like after a while, me being a Black woman, and I know it doesn't apply to me or anything, but it's kind of overwhelming, especially since a lot of the time it's kind of like a repetitive thing. Like we got to stop being repetitive on some certain topics because somehow we get back into this, Black women with 20 baby daddies, it's a problem. And that is, I get it, but damn, like we hear it in all these other channels. Like we gotta start going into different topics, people. Like,
okay. Huh? I was just trying to make sure you was done. Go ahead.
Oh, but yeah, I'm sorry. Something's in the sky and it's kind of freaking me out. I don't know what it is. What'd you say?
Gotta stop smoking.
I don't do drugs. So yeah, with that being said,
double rainbow.
Yeah.
Jamaican stereotype.
It's a thought stereotype.
Follow my channels, Rain's World 24, the anime gaming channel. I will be soon streaming live on video in about the next 2 weeks once my camera gets delivered from Amazon. Yay! And also follow Peanut Butter Girls. I'm sorry, I'm really like.
I'm an admin, ladies. Yeah. Ladies. Hey, ladies.
Yes,
I'm an admin.
I made Donnie an admin. Donnie, please post the type of women that I've told you about. Post other topics. I've also been trying to like get like different discussions and stuff going on that page. Just haven't had time. And Roger, I apologize if what's the word?
Oh, you can say it. I got you.
No, I mean, I do. Like, if I heard wrong, because I swear that's what I heard, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Which I don't think it's a problem. I don't think it's a problem if Black men are dating outside their race, outside of Black women. I don't. That's your shit, not my business. So do you. Other than that, y'all guys have a wonderful night.
So I want to reiterate every time we do the show, the purpose of the show is to dispel the bullshit that is put out about Black men. That is all too common for it to be a narrative of Black men ain't shit, Black men ain't doing what they're supposed to do, Black men don't protect us, Black men this, that, and the third. And Black men are out here in droves, and I prove this on every single show that we do, that Black men are out here and Black men are trying to be responsible about everything that we do. But the narrative is always given that they be from white supremacists, Black feminists who are also, I feel like, and this is me talking from my perspective of the head of the channel, as Black feminists are the guard dog of white supremacy and other individuals who look to defame Black men. We have a voice, we are here. That is the point of my channel. That is the point of the network of the habitual line steppers. This is what we do. The Black Manosphere all speak on Black empowerment. We all try to show you a diversity in the Black male culture. And
can I get in here and say something?
Go ahead.
Because I want you to be the finalist of your show.
Okay.
I got knocked out. I don't know how I got knocked out.
Please, no. Hey, go ahead. Hey.
That was a sign.
I got knocked off. I think Rain did it, but I ain't gonna. I don't have no proof.
Always Rain's fault. Not Black.
I don't have no proof right now.
Specifically, go ahead.
I don't have no proof. Yeah. First of all, I don't like anybody talking about I date somebody outside of Black women, because no, I don't date people outside of Black women because I absolutely love Black women. So first of all, I don't ever want that type of narrative created about me. I literally made a decision about our community and said, you know what? Our community needs more people like me. So therefore, I shouldn't date outside the race. I have honestly, in Facebook groups and stuff, I stated several times, even if a person wants to date outside the race, as a whole, it's not a benefit to the Black community right now for Black people to be dating outside their race in America. And that has nothing against any other people. I just don't think it's to the Black community's benefit for us to do that. You see what I'm saying? Now, I work with the public. I work in the medical field. We got to love everybody that come through the door. Anybody can get hurt of any color. So I ain't got nothing against other folk. But I just think it's better for our people right now because of the situation we're in America, that we need to love ourselves and be with ourselves. That's just what I feel is going to take to help us get to where we need to be. As far as these narratives go,
you know, or the single mother thing, or any other thing that any woman says when it comes to black women. First of all, I looked up the word bashing just because I heard black women saying it so much, and the definition came out to be when men start making, well, they didn't say men, but it said when you make a prejudiced thought process or comments about a group of people that you do not know. Black men know black women better than anyone else. So therefore, it's real hard to bash somebody. You know what I'm saying? The only thing person you might be able to consider maybe a Tommy Sotomayor bashing because he overdoes it a little bit sometimes.
Oh, there's no maybe.
You know, something like that. But we know black women. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, at the end of the day, we got the right to speak on black women. We as the men who are supposed to be the leaders of the community, you can't lead the community without talking about the problems of the community. And some of those problems are definitely rooted in stuff that black women do. And because black women are anti-patriarchal, and I'm saying this based on the childbirth rate of who has a baby with a husband versus who has a baby without a husband, or who even has a baby with a man or without a man.
Final thought.
This is my final thought. This is my final thought.
It just seems like there's a lot. Oh, I tell myself to shut up. Damn. Okay, never mind.
I'm gonna finish it in a second. Yeah, I'm gonna finish it in a second.
But we don't need.
But
go ahead, finish your word.
Yeah. And so when it comes to you know, setting up these scenarios ain't to bash anybody. This is just saying this is life. These type of situations can happen, and guess what? If these situations did come up, they should come up with a black woman because we should be dating a black woman in the first place. And my thing about black women, if y'all got something to say about the brothers who do date outside the race, because I honestly try to tell brothers they should date inside the race, but I gotta have a good argument. It can't always be, well, white women do it too, or everybody else is bad too. Stop saying how bad someone else is and start saying how great you are. Let me take some of your great points so I can say, well, black women are great because of this, that, and that. And if y'all can't even say it for yourselves, how am I going to convince a dude to date y'all? You see what I'm saying? So that's for when it comes to the people y'all worried about that don't want to date black women. They will, because they do it. The numbers show they do it. And people need to accept the fact that we actually do date black women. But even if for the ones who refuse to or don't even understand why, we should be able to tell them a bunch of great points so they can think about it and say, you know what? I should date them. And that's going to be my final word on this. Y'all, see me at the Roger Report, the best show on YouTube. This is Roger. I'm right. And good night.
Thank you, Rico. I much appreciated that. You know, as I was saying before, and I agree with everybody on the panel. They have their emotions, their feelings, they the way they think about things, and they're entitled to their opinion. And that's the point of this show. It's to have a conversation that may not necessarily be able to be spoken elsewhere because it's too it's not a PC conversation or it's too out of pocket or whatever it is. I want you to be able to come on the show and say whatever you want. My whole dynamic of the show in general is to keep men on track and dispel the narrative that black men are weak. And like I said before, that is the whole purpose of this show. So maybe you are in the position of a lion raised by a sheep. And what I mean by that is maybe you didn't have a father in your life and you don't know what to do. You don't know how to believe. At the end of the day, I'm here to help you. If you just want to do better, we have a whole bunch of strong black men on the panel that are here to help you do better. And we're giving you different perspectives and personalities. And maybe you can latch on to one. If you don't have a male father figure in your life or somebody that's going to teach you something, you might be able to pick it up from one of these channels. Black Men Being Brutally Honest, The Roger Report, Edward Anderson, Super Triz, Black Male Talk, from Torian, from Trav, or from You Ain't Shit for Watching. But at the end of the day, if you felt like anybody on my panel wasn't shit for anything that they said, myself included, you ain't shit for watching. Y'all have a wonderful night.